from New York. It's Patdees. No, I'm just kidding.
Like, what is that? An audio? I'm like, I just muted it.
Muted already.
That was pretty good. I like it because to be honest, that little butterflies start the show sometimes because you're always like worried if you're going to stumble. And I'm like, I hit the mute button. So since Jason wants to announce the show tonight, you know what? Let's let him do it.
Go for it.
Oh yeah, that's about as far as I go.
Where are you at tonight?
I am at home.
Okay, well, all right, guys. Hey, it's Patdees, and it's the Late Show here on Saturday night that we do at 11 o'clock with myself, Eric, and Jason, and we try to rotate guests out every couple of weeks. We do this weekly, and the common bond that we have is that we're resellers. Mm-hmm. So we'll just start out right from the get-go. We're going to start with the ladies. Let them introduce themselves, and we'll start with Anita.
Okay. You just throw me in the spotlight right now. Okay.
Well, you're the furthest one away, so you know.
Okay, so my name is Anita. My channel name is Anita Funita. My main niche is jewelry. I do jewelry jars. I sell jewelry. I do Etsy videos. I sell on 2 platforms, which is Etsy and eBay. I live in California. Have 3 children, and that's it for me. Give me around.
Oh, see,
Anita, now what's your address in the city?
That's Glendale, California is all you're getting.
Yeah, if anyone wants to send any fan mail.
I actually don't have my address. I have my email address. They can contact me from there if they want to.
Well, you have to learn. You know what I learned early when I got on here. Make sure you have a post office box, and I think Kimberly got one recently too. So.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, yes. There's weirdos. I'm telling you, you should do that. You know, I know somebody who likes to Google map everybody.
Right. Tip of the day: get a PO box.
Right. That's the first subject. Big Red Kimmy is saying, "Don't look so mad."
Do I look mad? I was angry typing. Y'all know me. I start typing, and you can't give me a hard time, Big Red, because your dad does the same thing. He looks down and he looks all pissed off when he's typing.
That's the frozen deer look.
Yeah, we have a lot of key hitters here.
We're not really angry. It's just
no.
All right, now Kimmy, you're the next young lady. Tell us about you, where you're from.
My name is Kimberly. My YouTube channel is Borderline Hoarderish, where hoarding is only cool if you can sell it for a profit. I'm a mom of 2. I live in Denver, Colorado, and I live life as a pacemaker, and I love reselling. I was just literally dumpster diving again today. Note to self, Saturday, not such a great day. Not such a great day to dumpster dive. Well, for department stores. There's another tip for you.
Right.
Is that a piece of cabbage in your hair? What is that?
Cabbage.
Yeah, I know you're dumpster dive at the Chinese restaurant.
Oh yeah, no food dumpsters. That's the second tip for the night.
Here's a little tip. Don't go in the dumpster at the Mexican restaurant. Just
right.
Next to it.
Yes. You see cabbage, run.
I opened a few dumpsters today that really, barely even opened them, and the smell was too much. So I immediately was like, "Nope, not gonna happen."
I am never ever gonna dumpster dive. I will tell you that right.
Well, you know what?
I believe you.
I pulled over. It might be closer to $2,000 worth of stuff from a dumpster during the week. So
that's very good. There's nothing wrong with that. My fat butt's not climbing into a dumpster.
Yeah, it does make it hard. I mean, really, you got to make it worth it. I don't like to try to pull trash from ones where I have to necessarily jump too far into.
Yeah, now that I'm older,
diving, it means I'm homeless and I need something to eat. That's when I'm dumpster diving. So
now that I'm older, I don't do that anymore because I want to be able to get out of the dumpster.
Well, I bought 2 vehicles from pulling stuff from the trash and reselling it. I literally bought some vehicles with the money I earned. So I was pretty proud of that. It takes a lot. There are rules. I always tell people, definitely check with your state. And I don't dive into dumpsters that have trespassing signs or private property. I'm just not that much of a risk taker, and it's just not worth it to me. When I can go find dumpsters without those signs and not worry about that, and it not be food dumpsters, because it's standalone department stores where there's just the department store dumpster.
Yeah. Another tip, if you can't get into the dumpster, you shouldn't be dumpster diving.
Yeah, I mean, make sure you got help to either be able to hand stuff out or somebody to help you out of the dumpster. I almost fell into a dumpster. I think it was the beginning of last week, reaching in too far. That would have not been good.
No, it wouldn't have been.
I could hop out of it. It just, I wasn't prepared in the sense I was wearing shorts and, yeah, no, thank you.
Not gonna
All
happen.
right. We'll go to, since we're talking about hair, we'll go to Eric.
That's right, my beautiful name today. My name's Eric. I'm the nameless picker because I have no imagination. And
Kojak.
I sell on eBay and online auctions. Pretty much all there is to know about me. This is all I do. So I have a lot of kids I'm responsible for. That's about it. You guys are all slackers when it comes to the kid thing, as far as I'm concerned.
That's funny. How many kids do you have?
How many kids do I have, or how many kids am I responsible for? It's
okay, well, maybe both.
Both, yeah.
I have 3 children that I have personally fathered.
Okay.
But I'm responsible for 9.
Oh, yeah. I can hardly handle the 2 that I have.
I have 6 stepkids, so.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Jason?
Jason, we're waiting for you to top that.
I'm sorry. I'm just doing one thing. Hold on one second.
You're not typing because we don't hear you. So what do you looking at the competition's YouTube channels? Come on now.
Oh, wait. I forgot something, Jason. Hang on. And tonight's show is brought to you by Makers 46.
Oh,
nice and smooth.
Yes.
Yeah, hi, my name is Banana Findz, and when I'm not having 80s flashbacks, I am reselling on eBay full time for the past, 14 years, maybe. That sounds good, like a good number. I don't know. I lost track of time. When you're a reseller, you don't really think of time too much.
that's true.
Yeah.
All the days blend together. The only way I know what day it is actually because of my kids. And during the summer, it's harder because they're not in school. So when they're in school, then I know what day it is usually.
Well, mainly because 90% of the stuff we're selling is old anyway. So it's not like I'm selling a brand new item. I'm like, oh, cool, look at this, 72. Or 56. Yeah, I don't pay any attention to what day it is. So.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. One of the things that we're going to do tonight is every about 15 minutes, if anyone heard, I'm giving away $50 in PayPal cash. So it's going to be $10 basically. Every person on the panel has picked something that they've sold recently on eBay or Etsy, and they will show it. And then you'll have to guess within $2 without going over, and that person who guesses will get the $10. Now, why are we doing this? One of the things is we just got monetized 2 days ago. I made 31 cents yesterday on YouTube. So yesterday was my official first YouTube money. And
that were you saying the we is in the royal we, or are we all getting a cut?
Well, yeah. I'm sending a check for 6 cents.
Okay.
Well, no. Wait a minute. I got to clarify that. 31 cents is what Patdees made, but Saturday's show has only made 4 cents. So all right, that's good. I don't know how I'm gonna chop up 4 cents among our guests, but I'll kind of figure it out. But
y'all can get my portion.
Yeah.
All right. And we have the ability to do super chats now and all that. So that's great. It was a lot of videos and a lot of time put out there. Actually, I put a video out today with Ollie's.
How'd that go for you, Pat?
Yeah, it actually went good. I was surprised. And some people, I know Dave was in the room and he was saying that, hey, why didn't you buy more? And I just set myself a budget. I didn't want to go crazy and then get to a point because I'm going to show some of this stuff that some people maybe crash the price. So, I spent $163 and I should be able to sell that stuff for over $400. That's after fees. So I should make about $250. And I'll be honest, I have bought stuff from them before in the past. So I know that, sometimes people could say, I've gone there and I haven't had success. That happens, I think, at every place that you source, that you find stuff sometimes that is going to do good or not good. I don't have a big risk. Now, some things I bought, which I didn't showcase, I did buy some WWE wrestling action figures that were the ladies, and they were such a great price. I know that come closer to the holidays, I'll be able to sell them for 2 or 3 times of what I paid for them. And I've done that with Wonder Woman action figures that I couldn't sell on Amazon because I was gated in that brand, but I turned around and sold them on eBay. And actually, I sold them on eBay within 2 weeks. So I thought I did pretty good.
I've been telling people about Ollie's for 5 years now. I mean, you cannot beat their pricing, and there's a lot of interesting things that show up there. You got to go back and check. About if you have an Ollie's in your area, go back and check about every 2 weeks, and you'll see brand new stuff in there. And I'll tell you, you can't ask the people what's coming in because they don't know.
Did I just get called a diva?
Yeah. Yeah, right here. Hold on.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's not me or Eric. It's the 3 ladies. I mean, it's Kimberly, Anita, and Jason. I'm sorry, Jason. You threw me off on the show when we first started. I thought maybe
funny though. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, you know why? Me and Jason hung out together in New York on Monday. So probably after that back-breaking work, he must have thought he was still in New York.
I know. I felt bad. I used Pat like a burden of a beast of burden the other day. He really helped me out.
We get there, and what did I tell the guy? He goes, "Are you guys here to pick up the stuff?" I said, "No, he's the money man. I'm the muscle." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And it was pouring rain.
Yep. Oh, Pat, you remember those big bricks that you were lifting up for me and putting in the stuff? I weighed those. Those were 60 pounds each.
Oh, I know. They were heavy.
Oh, boy.
How about that one big piece that it was laying on the ground? Did you ever weigh that one?
No, because I can't lift it onto the scale.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that weighed about 125. And
Pat, you haven't had anything. Wait till January when you show up and come up with us to Cabin Fever. You'll see what it really means to be the beast.
Yeah, last time Eric hurt himself. He was moving his heavy.
I smashed my thumb once 2 years ago, and it took 6 months to heal. So
I had to hear about it for a year and a half, though.
That's right.
6 months.
No, it took 6 months to heal. I had another year of bitching about it. That's all.
Well, that's all right. If you're helping, you're entitled, right? Hey, Kimmy, honey, can you be my co-host? Can you kind of say hello to some of the people in the chat for me?
No. People in the chat.
I don't want them to think I'm ignoring them, and I always like how you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right, I will. First person in is Jason Static. He says, first, thumbs down crew. Yeah, but not in here, folks. Only thumbs up in here. Only
That's
thumbs
right.
down, Jason. CH Enterprise, hello, Big Red, what's up, Joshua? Kids Deals, and more. Says, for once, I'm early. Rebecca Cruder says, hi, bro. What's up, my sister from another mister? Pearl, Mimi, Lynn. Hello, Lynn. Nisha Renee, my bestie, what's up? What's up? Myra Freeman, hello. Scan to Freedom. There's a couple names I don't recognize as I haven't seen them very often. So welcome to all the new people. Lisa is in here. Banana Findz is on the panel.
Thank you.
Perla, what's up, beautiful Perla? Alan.
You're in rare form tonight, Jason.
I know he's
Last week he said 10 words, but he typed 300.
You know what it is when you've driven around the continent twice over. I'm a little,
Star City Rick, our Star City Picker Rick is in here. Dave, Deep Fried Deals. Who else is in? Harlan. I can't help. I'm sorry, but
Every day
time
we have.
yeah, that's me. Every time I see Harlan now, I think of the picture that's up on Instagram of him in Vegas in those little teeny tiny shorts that he would. I mean, the shorts are shorter than what I would wear.
I saw. We've all seen the picture, Harlan.
Whoa, Harlan! Nice legs, Harlan.
Yeah, the police officer picture.
Jack
Wow.
Wells, is in here. Let's see who else. Did I miss anybody? Adam, what's up, Adam?
Yeah.
Nice with Adam with the super chat.
Wow, that's amazing. Thanks, Adam. I appreciate it. That's my first official super chat. So thank you.
Congrats.
My
That's all.
neighbor from New Jersey here. So thank you.
I think I got everybody. Mary Beth, Melissa. Did I miss anybody?
I don't think so.
I think I got them all. Hello. Hello to all. Welcome to the Late Late Show.
Are we in New York or where are we at?
No, we're all over. We're all over the place.
I was in New York 2 days ago.
I've never been to New York.
You were?
Oh, it's awesome. I was in Manhattan. It was great.
I wanted
When?
to go, but I've never been.
2 days
When
ago.
was Oh, were you? Okay, because I was there 2 weeks ago. I did the live feed with the bus.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't watch your stuff. I don't know about.
What?
You
Really?
missed the
So
bus.
when you
That
called
was
me,
fun.
I don't watch.
we hauled 2,000 pounds in the pouring rain, and you don't watch my videos?
No, you know why? Because after hanging out for like a month, you didn't no video of mine. So this is payback.
No, that's not true. I did watch one.
I didn't watch one.
Aye. All right, which one do you want me to feature tonight? Okay, anybody who hasn't subscribed to Banana Findz, he wants to feature a video tonight. Which one are you going to feature?
But what? Huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Exactly.
Which video do you want us to watch that you is your best video that you've done on your channel?
I don't know. They're all equally abysmal. I'll just randomly pick one.
You pick one. You pick one.
You said it yesterday. We don't. It's rare that he said more tonight. I think in all the episodes that I've been on here.
Well, wait. You got to realize last weekend I had my wisdom tooth pulled, so I was in a lot of pain.
Oh yeah, we stopped at Dairy Queen, and he's like, "Oh, wait a minute." I thought maybe he had to use the bathroom before he left. He's like, "Oh no, my tooth." I'm like, "Oh man."
For some reason, I'm never in pain.
Let me tell you, there's an issue if we were at a Dairy Queen.
I wonder why.
That's why he didn't eat ice cream. He was asking me because I had called her and we didn't eat ice cream, and I had forgot. That's why you didn't get the ice cream.
Yeah.
Oh,
You got burgers. I think what you said or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I got like this boring burger.
Wow.
I mean, it was okay, but
Oh, Mary
Gotta
Death.
get cheese curds.
It says $9.99 for Mary Death. Here's your second one, Mr. Monday Baga. Monday Baga. Thank you.
Mary Beth. She's so awesome. She keeps every chat interesting, and she's in so many of our chats when we go live. Mary Beth, we appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm highlighting Nathan because that guy is funny.
Yes.
I was on Kimmy's show last night, and they can only allow 6 on a time, and I never got back on because it was Nathan's hour. I'll tell you, he was on fire.
He was, and I didn't mind that at all. I hadn't had Nathan on for quite some time, and I know we were celebrating Rebecca's birthday,
Right.
Rebecca loves Nathan just as much as I do, and he had me rolling, man. Nathan is good stuff.
Oh yeah, it was like the Southern redneck comedy hour there. We forgot that we were playing Family Feud,
It was
but
fun.
his storytelling is so fun. I tell you, if you sat in a car with him for 6 hours, I don't think you could fall asleep because he'd keep you awake.
Yeah, I love it. You get deep into whatever story he's telling you, and then the ending is always like something that you just did not expect at all. And
Right.
that makes him great.
I liked how he told the Rudolph story too.
All right, now I feel bad because everyone else has said something great about him, and I don't know him.
Me either.
Well,
You got.
I mean, I've seen him once or twice flipping in between shows, but I personally don't know him. So,
Jimmy, you hear what he just admitted? He never watched your show last night.
oh,
See?
oh.
Ah,
I thought we were tight, man. I thought we were like this.
Hey, listen, Timmy, you have no worries because I must have watched like 20 of your shows and like a half a Pat show once. It was,
oh, still.
Back on a good list, Jason.
Yeah.
Harlan says the later the show went last night, the crazier the questions got. Right?
I agree.
I mean, it is called The Crazies Come Out at Night, so it's just how we roll.
and they sure were out. So, hey, Jason, I don't know if you want to mention. I mean, I hear you had a busy week. We went on Monday. Did you go to several pickups this week?
yes, I did. Yesterday, I drove nonstop to Massachusetts and back. That was a nice 12 hours of fun.
What type? Without detailing what you're selling, what type of same type of stuff that we picked up?
Oh yeah, all tools, machine parts, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Then you go. Now you were in New York on Thursday.
Yes, New
New
York.
York City, had to go down to New York City, and that was personal. Then was it Wednesday you did the other pickup?
Wednesday I was in Northern PA, and then Monday me and Pat were in New York. Kind of, what was that, Pat? To the west, like north? I don't know.
Well, yeah, West
New York.
Yeah. It was like 2 hours and 15 minutes maybe from my house. We met we met pretty not far, about 30 minutes from where I live, but it rained the whole way. Actually, me and Jason were live on the road. I think Mondays. Kimmy, see, you're not watching Kimmy's show, but at least we could admit that we're hanging out on her show Monday, live from on the travels in the rain.
Right? I don't normally have people come on the Monday show, so that was cool. That was all right.
Cool.
So are you done
nice.
for a while?
It's also nice to see Kim's wearing a shirt today. Thank you, Kim.
Kim's always wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
But you look back in the videos, and you'll find her not wearing a shirt in one of her videos. Yeah. She forgot or something. I don't know.
I was trying to help Pat out with more views. Yeah. Come on now.
Well, it worked because my watch time went through the roof, and here I'm. So.
Apparently, every day I'm helping seems to think you're encroaching on their territory. I guess they don't understand the depth of your territory, considering you've gone to South Bend, Indiana, for pickups before. So,
yeah, he's from out near Pittsburgh.
I mean, I'm every day hustling too, so conflict of interest.
Yes,
right.
It is.
No one can see
if
it.
you're real lucky and it gets really late, you might get the booty shot.
She don't do that no more because I told her to sit down.
He always tells me to sit down. He's always talking to myself.
Now we know why.
It's because you got tired of shelling out dollar bills.
You gotta let her express her creativity.
Yeah, that's what it is. The girls
CJ Spen is that thoughts of Toys R Us opening in North New Jersey. I like Toys R Us. I like the brand. If you could find stuff to go over there and do. I mean, I never done retail arbitrage from Toys R Us. A lot of people did it in the past because they were closing. So I don't know what the opportunity is going to exist for that. I sell, and I don't know if I mentioned this, I sell on eBay. I do Instacart, property management, and I also sell on Amazon. Amazon, though, is tough. You got to tie up a lot of capital. Now, this whole week, I sold a couple of things every day, but I'm getting more into buying storage units and finding those types of things to sell on eBay. The only drawback with that is I can't enjoy a 2-car garage because half the garage has become storage and in the basement and stuff. Anita, what are you giggling? Did I miss something?
Yeah, Red Knickers. Highlighted.
Well, that was one of the. She was asking some strange questions last night. If you walked down, what weird would you say to a stranger? Maybe it was. I was only on the first 50 minutes of the show.
My question to him is why does it, just because you're in prison, why does that change the level of love you're feeling at the time?
I don't know about that one.
That's right. Just no snowman. They're all talking about last night's episode. Yeah. I mean, it went south quickly, that episode. It was all down.
I went to bed early last night. I did not have a good day yesterday, so I went to bed early. So,
well, this is the first time I've gotten to talk to Kimmy today because of the rough night. So
it was a good night. That was a good night.
Everyone was having fun.
Yep. Inquiring minds want to know: would you rather your armpit be licked or lick someone else's?
Yeah.
Ew.
Neither.
I don't mess around with fetish stuff,
Well, on those episodes, I really do find out a lot about the people who hang out in the chats.
Jason and I used to do a late night hangout with a bunch of people, and you would be surprised at the conversations that would take place. They were never live because they were R-rated at best.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, it's pretty much anything goes at that point. Yeah. So,
oh man, some of the answers that I was watching, I was shocked.
Right.
I wasn't.
I was.
Well, that's what's fun about it.
I go on Static's channel and I'm shocked sometimes, but some of the people that I think are innocent, I'm like, wow, what was going on?
So many naughty people.
Let's start. There's 43 people in here. It says right now. If you guys could give thumbs up, I greatly appreciate it. But one of the things we're doing tonight, every 15 minutes, one of us is going to feature an item, and you have to guess the price within $2 without going over. And so let's start. We're going to have Eric, Nameless Picker, show his item.
I see we're going by age first. Okay, Pat.
Well, I don't know. He told me he was 29. So,
in dog years, yeah.
Oh, poor Eric. Okay, this is going to be the item, and then in the chat, you guys have to guess. And what'll happen is you'll get PayPal cash of $10. So there's going to be 5 of those, and we're going to do that every 15 minutes. And this is something that recently one of us have sold, and it's to keep you guys interacting with us and just show some different things that we're selling. So let's show this item that Eric is featuring. When I say start, though, is when you'll guess the price. So Eric,
this is a lot of 66 antique gelatin glass plate photos. I showed these before I listed them. And so this is what you see. This is my listing. They already sold. So to give you an idea what the photos are. These are scans of the glass plates. You're no longer sharing.
I'm sorry.
Leave it to Pat.
I was too busy looking at Kimmy's hair. Now we got people guessing. I didn't say start yet, so you got to wait.
So there's my 12 photos.
Oh, I remember those now. I remember that house.
That's probably the coolest one right there.
Sorry.
Hey, Donatello, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. That's all right. You can look on eBay. Do your homework. That's if you're going to win in it to flip it. We don't mind. We're here to give away the money. What'll happen is someone will have to when we announce, you just in my about section, in my email, just email me your email, and we'll confirm. In our private chat, we have the price written down. So if the panelists could check that and then help me. So is that it, Eric, then?
That's it. Now, I will tell you that you can find it in my solds, but I took an offer on it.
You can look at his account, Eric at ebaywankster.com.
That's right.
All right. So we're going to everybody see the price in the private chat? Eric, it says.
Yep.
Yes.
And I will tell you that I paid $5 for all those. So.
Wow, that's great. All right, so we're gonna
a delay.
we're gonna say start now. So whoever guesses within $2, but without going over, will get that $10 PayPal super chat. So, Anita, meanwhile, we'll have we got 120. Is the chat flying? Do you see it flying?
I'm watching it, so don't worry.
Okay. Anita, how was your week this week?
It's good, pretty good. My week is always like this. If I don't list, I don't get that many sales. So the more I list, the more I get. I've been kind of like I haven't done my listings as much as I should, but I do still have enough sales. So I'm doing pretty good.
How are things out there in California as far as
we're still having earthquakes, at least 1 or 2 a day, but not strong enough for it to be on the news. But other than that, they are still happening, and it's really.
I'm gonna give the room a clue because they're a little too high. It's under $100.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got some people like they got a mortgage payment there, $700.
I wish I'd sold it for that much, but you know what?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you take a deal and you go with it. So,
Right, especially depending on how much you paid for it, you know.
Right, and keep in mind he paid $5.
Yep.
Did you type and start or no?
I said start. Yep.
You did.
$2, we have a winner.
Wait,
Yep.
it's within $2, but not over the price. Only on
Right.
it.
Yeah, we have a winner.
Gate City Picker was the winner.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And
Gate City Picker said $59, and it was actually $60 even for it.
Right. I'm trying. The chat flew so fast. I saw it. I was going to highlight it. There it is. So there we go. Gate City Picker. Just email me. My email is patnpa72@aol.com. Just tell me your first name and your email, and we'll send you $10 through PayPal. So thank you.
Congratulations.
And listen, in order to cover all this, we need a lot more super chats. So otherwise,
Yeah.
We went from 49 people in the room to 19 now. This is a way of me just giving back for people taking their time out of their nights on Saturday to watch us and join us. So I appreciate it. So thank you.
I will tell you that you can, if you find those at an auction, they will sell. It sold really quickly. I just took an offer because I just didn't want, decent offer came in. I see those a lot. I've had those in the past, and nobody ever buys them when you see them at auctions or out there in the wild. So, because nobody thinks there's any value to them. So, most of those I showed the best ones. Most of those were just landscape scenes. So there really wasn't a whole lot of value aside from just the few that were shown. But don't pass them up if you can get them at a really good price.
No, I'm naive to what they were. Eric,
those are called gelatin plate photo negatives, and they are basically a glass negative, and those were taken in the 1890s to 1900. And the reason you can date them is because the packaging was original as well, and the labels on the package dated it to like 1892. And so you do a little research on the packaging. I was lucky enough to have the packaging. Those went all the way up to the 1920s, though. So those could have been anywhere from like 1875 to 1920.
Hey, the person who won Gate City Picker, he got married today, by the way.
Oh, and there he is on his honeymoon. He's watching us on his honeymoon. How romantic!
My goodness, congratulations!
Yeah.
In it to flip it out, I usually take an offer more than 20% off like this one. I usually don't go that much lower than my asking price. I like to shoot for the sky sometimes and then figure out, because I always put things on sale, and then I'm willing pretty much open to offers at that point. But when I pay $5 for something, I think I originally had it listed for $149. Had a sale on of like 30-35%, so it was down to like $89 or $90 for it. And so I really only took, it went from 90 down to 60, so it really wasn't that much of an offer off of what I was asking for it. And they pay shipping too. I don't give free shipping. So so I mean, you have to understand, I mean, what the original asking price, what you see on eBay, is not what I was asking at the time.
Harlan says, wait, watching on his honeymoon?
Right?
He's already mine.
There's Steve Alcorn. Hey, Steve, thanks for joining us. Appreciate stopping in. I know you're not usually a late night person, but thank you. Thank you for stopping in. I appreciate it. Now, Eric, how would a person go about if they bought those and print from them?
They're just a negative, so you can actually print them with like any other negative. I scanned all those in, so you saw the scan. Some of them were the scanned versions of it, and some of them were just photos of them. You can actually scan them and then print them out through your computer itself. There's a lot of people out there. You can take them to a regular Photoshop and they can digitize them. And okay. The nice thing is they were what they call medium format. They were actually, a fairly decent size, like a 3x4 negative. So you get a lot of information in that thing. You get a lot of detail when you have a larger negative. I've got 35 millimeter negatives, and you can get a nice print off of 35. But it's like why guys like Ansel Adams and everything worked in the medium and large format, because you get such a better picture. That's why those cameras are actually a lot more expensive as well too. Mm-hmm. But I have a really good flatbed scanner. It cost me like $250, but it's like one of the top of the line ones for scanning things like that.
Now, what do they do with those? I mean, was that something they own? Do they own the rights to repeat?
On those, they would, only because photographic rights are a little iffy. When I buy negatives, if they're not more than 75 years old, there's a little bit of, do you own the rights or not? That's why I typically deal in negatives or slides, because you own the image at that point. It's really hard to claim that those are mine or I have the rights to those photos, because I have the only copy. When you buy photographs, it's a 75-year rights on photographs. So if you sell a photograph, you don't own those rights until at least 75 years have gone past.
Okay.
Those are 1890s, so those are obviously way old anyway. And again, most people don't really have an issue with it until you get into celebrity photographs and things like that. Now, I've got some 35 millimeters from the 1960s. I have the negatives, but I don't really have the rights to reproduce. I can sell the negatives, but they were actually done by photographers for a Chicago newspaper. So I actually have the newspaper photograph negatives. And I got all kinds of crazy photos. John Paul II before he was Pope, and Apollo astronauts on a parade. I probably should have listed those this week. I didn't even think about that. And those are all from the 60s and early 70s. So
I like old photos. I found it from the newspaper. They had, when they used to make the like 8x10, they would stamp it and they could use it in the newspaper. I found a photo. I'm a big fan of Jackie Gleason from the Honeymooners. And I found an old photo of him where he had lost like 70 pounds and he's stretching out his pants. And it was a photo that they took for that newspaper, and it had a stamp on it, permission to print in that paper, and there is like no other one of that. You could tell like that's an original.
That's
copy.
the original photo, and that's what I have. Except I have the original negatives that they would make those photos of.
Right.
I've got a little box of negatives up there. I paid a lot of money for it because to me it's worth a lot of money. It's just a matter of selling it out and getting it done. Actually, that's the reason I bought the really good scanner, because to do stuff like that, you need a really good scanner to represent the images really well, to show people what they're getting. But I mean, I've got just amazing images, and this was a press photographer who knew what he was doing. And I own the negatives, so technically I have all rights to it because I bought the negatives from the guy who bought the stuff out of the newspaper. But it's a gray area type thing. So what I do is I actually look at, I sell the negatives and I let them worry about rights, stuff like that. Now, when I sell something from the 30s, hey, all rights that's, you can do whatever you want at that point.
Now, have you ever thought about, or have you ever done where you take any and make pictures up and maybe make a frame up to sell something to like a restaurant or something that would feature that?
I explored actually printing photos off of all the negatives and slides I had and then just selling the photos and negatives. It's not worth it to me. To do it, you've got to do it in runs of 20 or 30. And, getting a lot of photos printed is actually fairly expensive when you are actually going to a place and having a really nice photo done, a really nice scan. It costs you $3 or $4 per scan to get a good quality scan to print a photo off. Now, I've done that I had some negatives of missile launches from Vandenberg Air Force Base in the 60s. And I had photos printed of those in frames because my dad worked on the Minuteman missile project in the 60s down in Vandenberg. That's where I was born at. And so I went ahead and had those printed up and framed up, and I gave it to him his first birthday. But it was like $5 a scan, and it was like $15 a photo, but as a birthday present. But for me to actually do that and make money on selling it, and eBay is not the best market for that. That's more of an Etsy thing. And I don't sell on Etsy anyway. I just don't feel like doing it. I'd rather sell my stuff to somebody who's gonna do that. I want to be the supplier to the guy that wants to go ahead and buy my negatives and buy my stuff, buy my slides and things like that, and he can print the photos and make all the money in the world. I'm going to get it on the front end. So.
Now I want to ask. We got 53 people in here watching right now. Last week we did Google Hangouts, and this week we went back to StreamYard. I want to ask what people think in the chat. If you like Google Hangouts better, hit a 1. If you like the StreamYard, hit a 2. It seems like with 4 or 5 of us, it seems like it's running pretty smooth, and I like some of the features, how that I can feature some of the chat and put comments. Because I'll tell you, being the host, it's tough. It seems like we're getting a lot of 2. So if you like Google Hangouts, 1, StreamYard 2, and let me know.
I like Hangouts. I think it's just more because I'm used to it. I've used it for 4 years. I don't mind StreamYard. I'd like to see the paid version of StreamYard.
It's not. Craig got it, and he was disappointed because the only thing it allowed him to do was basically put a background, like a picture, and instead of having the duck up in the corner, he could put his logo. That's really all the difference is for that $25. Yeah. So that's why because I thought about so right now, I was like, oh, really? That's not really much of a difference. But now Nathan, I guess, is right now he's saying he put 2 and 1, so maybe he's putting all kinds of numbers. He's got 7, 8, 4, 2.
He can't decide.
Right.
I mean, if Google Hangouts disappears, I think between Zoom and StreamYard, I like StreamYard better.
Yeah.
I'm okay with either. Actually, I like the format of having the different boxes all up, and it's not flipping back and forth and things like that. That's very difficult. Zoom's a little different, and you can put a bunch of people up. I was in a test hangout once, and they had 38 people on, and you didn't see everybody because you had 2 screens to look at. So, that's fine. I just think it's definitely a little different. And I guess it's more of just one of those deals. And I agree with just the comment that came across. They are going to charge.
Yes.
It's the same as they did with what some of was it Posh that they didn't charge initially, and Macari they didn't charge it. It's anything that they introduce and people start to like and get used to. Oh, we'll just charge you $9.99. You know what? I don't mind paying $10 for a service. I really don't. I mean, I pay $10 for a YouTube Red. I mean, I like that. So,
right.
I'm just curious what YouTube's answer to once they get rid of Hangouts is going to really be. Because they're not going to just get rid of a service. They may introduce a paid service or something like that. So
we're going to have to wait and see what comes up.
Well, I don't know. I'm just happy someone actually wants me on their show. I don't care what we're doing.
Well, you know, one thing is being the host. There is a little bit because of Google Hangouts. You can just sit there, talk, and the sound picks up the camera. There's not much to feature as far as banners and stuff like that. And see how I'm highlighting people's comments. So doing StreamYard, if you kind of want that interaction with the people that are watching, that it is a little bit more work, and that I don't mind it, because if you have a couple other people on, you know, Eric and Jason are very knowledgeable of the things they talk about, and that's why I like even bringing in Anita and you know, Kimberly, because they can, you know, for the people, you know, the items they sell, jewelry and women related. So it's nice because then I can kind of do some things on the side, feature some of the conversation while they are you know, entertaining the crowd and talking about. I mean, Eric has so much knowledge. I could probably sit around hours for him and talking about the slides, because I think a lot of that stuff, I say this a lot, how many pictures are taken on our camera or our phone that are never going to be printed, that, you know, 50 years from now, maybe people will look back and say, and if it's not saved on a chip somewhere in a safety deposit box, how many pictures will never be seen or known? And to me, I never had a lot of pictures as a kid, and I really I'm the guy that out and about. I take the pictures of the family and places that we go, because, you know, to me, pictures tell a story. So, you know, and here we are doing YouTube, because when we're out doing this buying and reselling, there's In It to Flip, we're telling our story on YouTube. So In It to Flip It, jewelry and women related. Well, and I'm being, you know, I think bringing women into the mix is important too, because there's a lot of stuff that I can't talk about. Does anyone else get a delay on Pat's audio?
Well, that's I think that's just the YouTube. I mean, you're a little off on the audio.
Well,
and we had this problem with StreamYard the last time we used it. Sometimes there's a little delay. It doesn't sync up quite exactly right.
Well, what I noticed watching after I got off Kimberly's show last night is that the wording and stuff, that the video will be fine, but it doesn't synchronize. And there, Mary said it. It doesn't synchronize with the chat. It seems like if I say blue, and someone would type blue into the side chat, it's not tying together. There is a delay, and that's one thing they need to work that out, so that when I'm talking about blue, if someone types in blue within 5 seconds, it matches up. Because it was funny, because sometimes when I was watching Kimmy last night, I could see in the side chat people were typing in answers to her question, and on the video, she hadn't even asked the question yet. So that was a little confusing. So you could see, like, and I don't know what causes that to do that. And it's not just a desktop or my internet issue, because I've seen the same thing from a mobile device and everything. So that's something maybe that going through there, the way it's being processed. So hi, Kimberly, welcome back.
I'm here.
I think it'll eventually get fixed. Eventually, they'll make it so it'll be even out. There won't be a delay.
Well, I mean, when you're going through StreamYard, then it's got to be transitioned over to YouTube. I mean, it's just the nature of the internet. So,
see, even my son loves you. He wants you to talk, Kimmy.
I'm here.
I know you had a lot. Were you going to get a bottle of 47?
Yeah. Yep. No.
Well, my daughter did the Bourbon Trail as a vacation earlier this year, and she hit a bunch of the different distilleries, and so Maker's Mark was one of the ones she went to. So she got several bottles while there. I gave her a shopping list while she was gone, so I spent $200 and she spent like $350, and it all goes in the liquor cabinet. So
Yeah, I don't think anybody will ever catch me drinking too much on YouTube. I don't know. So
That's the only time I drink too much is on YouTube.
yeah, to each their own.
But I mean, Jason was there when I bought
Yeah.
14 bottles down in Gatlinburg.
Oh my God! They gave him his own personal caddy to wheel out. It was ridiculous.
I bought 14 bottles. They gave me a carrying thing for my shoulder, and then they gave me a rolling cooler to carry stuff with. So, and I literally had to roll it all the way back up the hill and into my hotel in Gatlinburg. We were all on. It was me and Jason. It was Bearded Picker Scott and Dusty Alabama Pickers. We were all on vacation together. So.
Yeah. Harlan says his liver dropped out a couple days ago. I had a call. I tell you, if you guys haven't checked out Harlan, he was our guest last Saturday, the day before he left for Vegas. Thank God I didn't ask to interview him while he was out there, because we saw a wild side to Harlan that he probably doesn't even know he has.
Harlan's going back and watching his own videos to go, wow, what did I do that day? I don't remember.
Go check out his Facebook picture of the eBay open party.
Yeah,
Definitely. You don't know what the Bourbon Trail is? You got Google Bourbon Trail and you'll see. What it is. It's a roundabout way to go and hit a bunch of different distilleries in Kentucky and Tennessee. And my daughter did the Kentucky version, so she was hitting all the different Kentucky distilleries. So I think she hit 9 distilleries in 5 days. So
There it is.
Hold on.
Is that Pitbull? What is
short.
It looks like he looks like a movie character, something like it just doesn't look right.
That's hilarious.
I wonder if someone.
Wait. Hold on. Was he working in AC? You know what I'm saying? Dollar bills, y'all.
That's funny.
I wonder if someone's going to print that up and put it in the lunchroom at work. Yeah. That put one in the break room, put one in the bathroom, put one in the office. It's
What happens in Vegas goes all over YouTube.
Yes, and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Facebook.
Yeah, and now that in a sense he's been a guest on our channel tonight. Thanks, Kimmy. Now I have to send him 2 pennies. As
That
part
should
of
be just an extra watch time.
part of the revenue sharing.
apparently Debbie does sales, took a bad fall today.
Oh,
Apparently a lot of alcohol was involved. I'm just ad-libbing that part. But she busted her arm, so shout out to Debbie. Take it easy, relax.
Oh,
Poor Debbie. I hope
Stay off the liquor too much, you know.
she's such a nice lady.
yeah. She's the one that I always try to buy her bird. She's really nice. She lives down in Texas, and she actually reached out to me. She wants to do a fitness thing with like a keto and stuff like that. You know, a lot of people like to do that just to stay motivated, so they can bounce ideas and just, offer, hey, how you doing, Pat, and stuff. So I'm definitely interested in because that is one of my goals this year to keep. I've been stuck lately. I mean, I lost about 18 pounds since April, but I've been stuck lately. So I'm gonna get back on it. But I have a busy I'm August. I'm going to be going to like 3 auctions, and then we're going.
Wait, why do you say auctions like you live in Boston? Did you ever notice that?
Auctions,
Auctions,
and he's going to have some chowder.
like oxygen. Oh, she did break her arm. I didn't know that. I didn't even see her. Wow, Debbie.
Am I talking to myself here? I just said
No. I didn't see her. You know what happens is I don't see the chat like you guys do.
And Eric's the one drinking.
Yeah.
Take care, Debbie. Speedy recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, she broke her arm.
Oh.
it's not that big of a deal unless it's the driving arm. Then you got problems,
Well, maybe I could come down there and like driving Miss Daisy. I could be driving Miss Debbie.
Right?
Oh,
that would be good. That would be some good footage because man, does she bust your balls. How do you say balls? Balls. Say it, Pat.
oh yeah, she'll give it back.
Yeah.
Well, hey, Kimmy, are you planning on hanging around for a while, or are you leaving on me?
Why are you trying to get rid of me or what?
Oh, you left us for 20 minutes there.
I never leave during lives either. So you leave like 50,000 times. You're
Right.
gonna be all right. But
Yeah, I know, but
We've all seen him do it. He leaves and comes back. Leaves and comes
that's right.
Well,
Well,
he just leaves and then doesn't come back.
no, well,
Oh, yeah,
Kimmy,
That is the king of drive-bys, so that's all right.
that is true.
That's true.
I popped in 2 or 3 shows the other day just for 10 or 20 minutes just to say hello. But Kimmy, since I know that you have a tough bedtime there in Colorado, I'm going to have you do you have your item to feature?
No.
You don't?
No, but no, I'll get it.
Okay, so we're going to go to California time, and we're going to have Anita feature her item. Now, again, no one until I say start. You have to guess. She's going to show an item that you sold. Is it on Etsy?
On Etsy, yes.
Right. It's on Etsy. She's going to describe.
I'm going to describe it first. It's a new inbox, Blue Sky Clayworks, Mermaid Mythical Tea Light wall hanging and candle holder. And this is what it looks like.
Make her screen bigger.
Hold on. Let me.
And I have another picture of the size with my hand.
Oh, that's pretty.
Very pretty. Yeah. It's made out of clay.
Huh.
Okay, before we start, it just reminded me of something last night. You know, again, doing these shows, you learn. Last night, they were doing an auction, and I couldn't believe that seashells would sell for $50. And everybody kicked in together and bought for Rebecca. She was the winning bid, but it was her birthday last night, and everybody kicked in the money and actually paid for her seashells. So I was really surprised number one, I was surprised that seashells would go for $50, and I wasn't surprised at people's generosity, but it was very touching and nice that that was done. So Rebecca Kruder, I'm not sure if she's still here tonight, but
I bet she is.
Happy birthday plus 1 day. So Tracy, yes, thanks for stopping. We were at 55 for the past hour, so it's nice to have one more person come in. Another gal from Texas. So, but Anita, we're going to feature her. If you guys guess without going now in the side check, we all know the price. Again, it is under $100. If everybody can guess, you can't go over, and it's got to be within $2. So start now.
That's a wall hanging, you said?
Yes, it's a wall hanging tea light.
Okay.
Tea light holder. And they usually make tea light holders.
We have a winner.
Oh.
Dan, the CNC tool man.
Wow, that was quick.
That was fast.
Damn.
And what was the price?
40.
There you go.
You know, Pat, lay off the hints for a little bit there. You gave Eric a few minutes before you hinted.
Yeah, I know. I have to apologize, Anita, because you need as much time as Eric does.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Now, so there you go, Dan. You just email me patpa72@aol.com. It's in my about section, and you'll get PayPal $10. So. Yeah, I did say start, and congratulations.
Congratulations. Mm-hmm.
Yep, let me write that down.
So, Pat, you said you're going to 3 auctions this next month, you said?
Well, I'm supposed to hang out with these guys on the 10th. The 2nd and the 15th, I'm going to storage units.
Okay.
I'm doing something with What the Hells. So they're coming in to Pennsylvania, and they're going to stay overnight. And we're going to do something for like a day or two together.
Yeah, that's true, because when you come to Ohio, you don't bother telling people that are in Ohio that you're there. I mean, no big deal.
Well, I did. I didn't realize I had to register with the whole damn state. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I only do a show with you once a week. I mean,
Well,
2
yeah, but
hours away, can't bother letting me know. I could have drove up for that. So.
Well, I didn't know you would drive for 3 hours for me, but now that I know,
Jason's, it's 8 hours away all the time.
Yeah, but the first time he was supposed to drive and hang out with me, he stood me up.
Listen,
Yeah,
guys, don't fight over me,
Jason,
okay?
that's not me. Do I stand people up? I don't stand people up. I go.
All right. Well, next time I got to meet with Steve too. Just see
I worked
Jason.
at Ollie's. I used to drive 60,000 miles a year. So.
You know what's another thing that's funny is you'll go to highlight a comment, and the chat behind the scene will, like, that's what it's doing now. It'll bounce around, and sometimes you're like, you highlighted the wrong one, and if it's something that gives me a hard time, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the one I wanted to highlight. So, Kimmy, what's going on? You've been a busy gal this week. Why don't you tell us? You did what? Three shows,
right?
Yeah.
I did, and then I did a little dumpster diving and chose to do it live, and got very lucky. That will probably never happen again. I've been dumpster diving a gazillion times, and I've never come across so many new items and like that. I think there's an employee inside of Ulta who was not aware that I was going to beat them to the punch in part of that haul.
Like, it's possible. Like I said, that was my business for 25 years, and that was a very common way to thieve from your employer, was to throw things away and get it out of the garbage later. So
yeah,
that's what was happening. You beat her before her clock out time.
Well, the thing that made me think that was that when I went back later that night, all of the boxes that were new, like everything was gone, and they had to have planned that or something, because I couldn't even fit all of those boxes in my car. So somebody was, I think, doing.
Well, not to be the cold-hearted person, but I would probably be hitting that dumpster every day.
I would go back. Yeah.
Today. I went and checked it today, and I've checked it before, but it's never been like that. And I haven't checked it on the day that I had gone this week. So apparently I need to go back Tuesday or Wednesday and see if maybe that same person is going to do the same thing.
Right.
This time I'm taking it all. I was live, and so my daughter, who is, she's pretty funny. That was the first time that I had taken her to do dumpster diving instead of doing what I call curb co, which is like driving along the curbs or looking for the free stuff on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or wherever they post it. So it was cool that happened live for the whole world to see, but it'll never happen again for real.
I would go a little earlier next time, just in case she decides to leave early.
Right. She's that lady.
Yeah.
That
she's not going to make this. Yeah, she's not going to make the same mistake twice.
Oh, I'm going to go a little more prepared next time, and I'll just jump in it and push the box over if I have to. That was my issue. Is the box was too heavy. I couldn't move the ball.
Almost one of those ones where the corporate guy in me says you probably should let somebody know inside, but then the capitalistic weenie in me says, "Hey, go for it," But
it reminds me of Mervyn's when I worked at Mervyn's in my late teens, and how many people were trying to do some pretty shady, just mark it as ruined, or when really there wasn't anything wrong with it, but that's what they would do, and they would just take it really.
Well, like I said, when I worked at Ollie's, I was in loss prevention. That was my job. I was a district manager, and one of the things that I would do whenever I'd pull up a store, the first thing I'd do is I'd go to the dumpster and I'd check and see. They throw away stuff all the time, but is it? Ollie's has a policy: cut the cords, break the items, paint them. If you, worst case scenario, make them so that they're not returnable and they're really no good to anybody else. They're truly trash. And so there many a time that I would actually go through and I'd have to look into the dumpster and just see what's being thrown away. And we would occasionally catch the occasional employees, putting stuff away, hiding stuff, and then we'd have to, have them arrested. But that's a different lifetime now. So
Yeah,
Can't say that I wouldn't take advantage of it if I saw it. So
right. I noticed that there was a lot of, there was a box or more stuff on the bottom of the dumpster that had even more like clearance items. So I think that they were just adding to the, the stuff they had to move out, because a lot of that should not. I don't know how it.
well, what happens is
Declaration.
Oh, what's this? It's damaged.
Oh yeah, it's damaged too. I'll just throw it in this damaged box. And the box was marked. There was a couple of them marked. That label said that it was supposed to be used for testers and stuff on it. So, and
a lot of times, what happens is you get people like that, and they just start to they add it to what they were already going to throw away. But sometimes they've already gotten credit for it from the vendor. But the thing with loss like that is it doesn't show up until you do an actual inventory. So as a company, they don't see the missing product. Because they walk in and they got a new line coming in, they got to clear the shelf. They tried to clearance it out, didn't get done. So a lot of times the managers are actually just throwing it out. Says I'll take the hit on my my loss line as opposed to the damage line or the or the
they don't want old items
line, things like that. They'd rather take it as a inventory loss as opposed to I couldn't sell it. Oh, it got stolen. Well, no, I threw it away.
These are all damaged, so we have to throw them out.
Yeah, so they put it in the they could put it in the damage line as a line on your profit and loss line, or they could put it into the unknown shrink, which is what shoplifting comes into. Employee theft, it goes into unknown. And again, that stuff only gets reconciled once every 6 months or a year, so it's really easy to hide that loss. So
yeah, I plan on trying to go back to that on the same day and hit that dumpster. And then there's also a off-Broadway shoe dumpster that tends to have quite a lot of stuff in it. I didn't come prepared though with my grabbers. You've got to have a good pair of strong grabbers.
Grabbers are a step ladder.
Yeah. I can hop it, but I'd rather just kind of like lean over the top of it and pull stuff out of it, as fast as I basically can.
Just have to be careful with that.
I was
like I said, I don't go in dumpsters that say no trespassing or private property.
Yeah, but see, from my side of it, where I would be at, if I had it, because we had a lot of cameras on the back doors and on the dumpsters. If I saw that an employee was stealing and that you were the one retrieving it, guess who's going to jail as an accomplice?
Right.
The employee. And you have to be a little careful with that stuff. So
you're right. That's a good point. I'm in that for sure. I tell this is horrible. I'm a horrible parent, but I'm like, our code word Lily knows. You just start going caca if you see anybody. But we're looking at boxes. We're looking for, because that's what I've been doing for 10, 15 years. Is when somebody asks what you're doing, I'm like, I'm looking for boxes, and most of them don't care. They tell you, well, you can't do that here. You need to go away. And
Ulta's a great place to get boxes. If you have an Ulta near you, they're great for those small boxes. I mean, I know that much. I mean, I've talked to a lot of people that go to the Ulta dumpsters because they have a cardboard dumpster for their boxes and stuff. So. Really good place to pick up small boxes and stuff. But yeah, it's just got to be careful. Just got to protect yourself.
Oh, you're right. And that's good advice for everybody out there. Definitely, for sure, look up the laws in your state, because there are laws where dumpster diving is not okay ever, no matter what. So make sure that unless I guess you're a risk taker, but I'm not. I'm always too paranoid that I'm going to end up in jail, and I'm good.
A lot of dollar stores give out boxes too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you ask, they'll just give it to you. Well, most of them, if they're nice and you ask them, they will give it to you.
Yeah, I mean, most companies don't care because all they're doing is turning them in for they're recycling them anyway, and they don't get any money out of the recycling. The compactor companies get that money, so.
Red Nickerson he says, remember to always wear your orange vest and look like a worker. I thought about wearing a red shirt and then tan like khaki pants and going and diving in the dumpster behind Target and just pretending.
Yeah, that'd be a good way to get yourself arrested there. So
the dumpsters, in some of the nicer areas here, they're huge and they have like a trash chute into them, so you can't even get into a bunch of them.
You can't. Those are compactors. You don't want to get into those.
I was gonna say, don't try that.
Yeah. Oh no, I wouldn't climb into anything. I try to go for the standalone, like not so public area, kind of places.
I mean, like in Ohio, or at least in my area, it's nothing illegal about it unless it's a locked one. You can't break a lock, or obviously something like that. But most places don't care. Now, if they care, they'll put a separate chain link around it with a fence, and that'll be locked, so you can't get into it then. Most people don't care. I mean, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. And again, 90% of the time, you're not going to find new stuff in a dumpster. You might find good stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's good stuff in dumpsters, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to find good new stuff.
Oh yeah, to find that many good items like I did this week, that I mean, I'll be lucky if that ever happens again like that.
Our peer ones throw out a lot of good stuff, but what they do is they spray paint them.
Yep.
Yeah, there are some of them that are marked with Sharpie through the
they throw out furniture. Yeah, the ones over here, they actually throw out the nice big wicker furniture and things like that, but they spray paint it so bad that you can't really do anything with it.
Yeah, I mean, and they're only concerned with not getting it returned to the store. That's all they care about. They don't care if someone goes and grabs it and takes it out and then sells it. They don't care. They don't want it coming back in the front door.
As a return.
Someone trying to get a return without a receipt. That's the whole purpose behind spray painting and damaging the items. That's what Ollie's does. They don't care. They could care less. They can give it to somebody if they could, but they're going to damage it out so much that you can never bring it back, and that's all they're worried about. They, like I said, they don't care unless it's something that was recalled. Then they're going to definitely would care about that. But most of the time, that's not an issue. It's more about just I don't want to see it coming back in my front door. Someone going, hey, I don't have my receipt. Can I get a gift card? Because gift card is still money. So
right. I haven't come across gift cards yet. I'm hoping that happens, but
pretty rare.
Yeah, I bet it is. I'm not one to be, necessarily jumping inside of every dumpster. So
yeah,
it's hard to do that. I don't like to do that by myself. Really, is the biggest thing. Like in case like I need some help out of the dumpster or something. And it's good to kind of have a second, set of eyes watching.
Yeah, you should always do it with somebody else. I mean, because you never know what you're going to find in a dumpster.
Well, even filming it, anything that Pat was just talking about that, he was doing his retail arbitrage video and was having to try to look things up and film at the same time. And that, that's kind of hard to do. So if you're into filming, it makes it a lot easier for you to.
Well, I mean, we've always talked about, Jason and I, we always talk about the fact that we can either be filming it or we can actually be doing the job. And that's why you don't see a lot of videos out of both Jason and I, is because we're too busy working sometimes to make we'll get done with something like, well, crap, that would have made a good video. You
got to strap a GoPro to your chest.
It's in the area. I mean, like in Jason's area, you scrap a GoPro to your vest and go to an auction, you're gonna get punched in the face. I mean, it's just the way it is. Everybody's a little different about that. Some areas are totally cool with having the GoPro. I've got the GoPro hat. Even I can strap it onto the head and wear it. I've done it at flea markets, but I would never walk into an estate sale with that on my head, because that would give me asked to leave in as a estate sale around here.
I think the best was when I was at the flea market with Scott and Pat, and both of them are filming on each side of me. I felt like a celebrity. I was like strutting my stuff,
Yeah, I've never been at a yard sale.
At one point, I told one of the vendors, I was like, "Yeah, that's my entourage."
That's here too. In California, I've never been at a yard sale where two people didn't come in wearing GoPros.
Wow.
But that's the problem you have with you can either really concentrate and do YouTube, or you can really concentrate and do your reselling job. Which one do you really want to do? And sometimes it can be
a tough balance.
I love doing videos. Don't get me wrong, I like doing them, but sometimes I'm just so involved with I'm at the auction and I am direct laser focused on what I'm doing. I can't do a video at that. Because to me, when I'm doing a video, I want to be talking about what I'm looking at an auction. I don't want to say a word. the conversation in the back of my head is don't bid on that, don't bid on that. Okay, I'm going to bid on that. I mean, that's the type of stuff I'm going to do. It's a lot harder to do it when you're really focused on the core of your business about what you're doing. When you're having fun, like you're out there. For me, like I said, I go to a flea market. I'll put the camera on my head. I don't care, because 90% of the time I'm not going to buy anything there because it's not the stuff I like to buy. But it's not something that I'm really that competitive about. I'm really focused on getting in an auction. I should probably do some videos on online auctions, but that's easy to do. But yeah, it's just one of those things that, it's hard. That's why, again, like I said, you don't see a lot of videos out of me or Jason, because we're too caught up in the business side of it to worry about the YouTube side of it. And we're trying to get better, but we kind of suck at it. So,
I hear a lot of people say that, like, for some of the Storage Wars people, or people just really, reseller wise, that they wish that they would have started from the beginning and filmed all the way through, because people like to watch that. And it's I know Wade is one of them. Wade Ventures, that he always tells people that if you're going to do it, you should if you want to grow your YouTube, if it's a sort of a wanting
storages are a little different, because doing a storage buy is a little different, because you're there and there's not as many people there, and it's one lot you're buying, basically. That's the way you look at it. One lot. You can film that. That's not that big of a deal. And
right.
Then you film the whole taking apart and everything. But when you're at an auction, like when Jason and I go to an auction, it could be 6, 7, 8 hours of sitting there bidding on individual lots. It could be hundreds of lots you're working with. And you can't wear a camera through the whole thing. And if you wear a camera, people are going to look at you kind of goofy-eyed to begin with. It's better to show a haul video than it is to show the actual video. So that's why you see haul videos out of Jason and I, just because it's a lot easier to do than actually seeing us at an auction, because we're running around like crazy. You're bidding, you're trying to keep ahead, and you're looking at what's coming up, and maybe even looking at what's it worth, and taking a second shot at it. Man, do I really think it's worth this much? Can I get it for this much? And honestly, when we're at an auction, it's about setting a precedence for how you bid, and try to set yourself a reputation that you will not outbid me. I don't care what you have in your pocket, you are not going to outbid me. And you can intimidate people enough that they will no longer bid on stuff if they say you bidding, because they'll know you run them up. And very rarely do you get outbid when you set that show of strength in the beginning. As an auction person, like I said, when I bid on an auction, I will bid and I will bid and I will bid, and I will. Sometimes you got to overpay a little bit. Maybe you don't make as much on that first item, but on that 10th item, you're making bank, because that guy buys everything. We were at that video game auction, and people were just dropping out, because as soon as Jason started bidding, I can't win that. I'm not going to bid. And suddenly the prices crash because they know that Jason's going to bid on it. So, I mean, you have to there's a strategy to bidding at auction, and the strategy is to go in, bid strong initially, and the prices get cheaper for you.
It also depends on the crowd a bit, though.
I mean, if you're in a collector's crowd, it can be tough.
Yeah. If you're in a room full of dealers or something, you'll get mowed over trying to do that.
You can. Again, it's all about. I mean, we were at that video game auction. That was a collector's auction. That was really really a dealer's auction. There were a few dealers there, but there was nothing that if Jason started bidding, they had one guy that tried to fight you on one item, and he finally just gave up. But he ran you up on a couple of lots, but you still made money on those lots. I mean, it's not like you were losing money. You're still making money. And then at the end there, though, I mean, Jason started bidding, and people would literally just walk away. And so you're getting lots for $5, $10, $15 that you should have paid $100, $150 for.
Right.
Just auction strategy, and that's hard to film. Because a live auction is tough, because live auctions are kind of boring sometimes. I mean, they take time and they roll out. I had a video up that I put on my thing that I chopped 45 minutes out of the auction, because it was just next lot, bidding, and it's just not that interesting unless you're there and you can see the crowd and everything. So
yeah, and the editing you have to do.
Good night, Melissa. Thank you.
Night, Melissa.
Good night, Melissa.
Melissa's
Who are
always
you
so
giving a shout out to, Kimmy?
I was going to. Is he still in there? I was trying to get my item ready to show. I wanted to shout out. I don't know if he's still in here. Greg, are you still in here?
Well, if he isn't, just shout it out.
Well, I want to shout out DuPage Picker because he recently did an intro video on his channel, and I always love to see when people, are not so shy and they finally decide to start making YouTube content. So I wanted to make sure that you all go, and he's right there, DuPage Picker, and watch his intro video. He plays the guitar and sings in it in the beginning of that, which is totally cool. He's a reseller, and so I want to encourage him to keep putting content out. I know he was just in Vegas, so go check out his intro video and encourage him to put out more content.
Yes, do it.
I'm always really proud when people do that. They finally decide to put themselves out there, because YouTube can be very scary. It really can.
I was gonna. We were talking about the cameras. I was gonna film on Monday, and unfortunately, it rained so much that we couldn't do it. And Jason said, "Oh, sorry. This is not your fault. It's just one of those things. It is what it is." I find, to be honest, that when I'm out filming, it's funny. People will see your hand, and if you're holding a camera like this, they have the tendency to look at, why is your hand like that? But if people are going like attached to a backpack or something in this area, they seem like they don't say nothing because they're not paying attention. What draws them is why is a person walking around like, you get away with a little bit more on your cell phone, but the problem is you got to turn your cell phone sideways to get the proper picture, or you get those black boxes.
Right.
Now, hey, Eric, I had a question. You were talking to Kimmy. Now, generally, how did you guys handle it when people were dumpster diving? Was it a trespass warning, or I mean, you don't immediately call the cops, did you?
No, I never cared if somebody dumpster dived, because I would make sure that there was nothing worth dumpster diving in the thing to begin with. I didn't really care. But I will tell you that we throw away vacuum cleaners and things like that, things that were returned, that if you were to grab the thing out of there and then sell the parts off of it, you could do well with it. So
right.
All that we were concerned about was that you could not bring it around to the front door and get a return on it. So we were making sure that stuff was damaged to that point where we could say, no, we threw that away. You can't get any money back on it. But if you're the type of person that doesn't mind taking apart things like using Ollie's is my last experience, because we would sell things like Black & Decker Cuisinart type stuff and Black & Decker coffee makers and things like that. There's lots of parts that aren't damaged on those that are actually worth money. So don't get me wrong. There's good money to be made, even dumpster diving in a place that does that, because those places, all they're concerned about is don't come in the front door with it. We don't care what you do with it. Take it out of our dumpster. It's one thing or less we got to throw away.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't care about stuff like that.
Yeah, the biggest complaint, honestly, like I know when my family had their consignment / eBay store, there were people who would dumpster dive in the back dumpster. But the biggest thing was that they just wanted people to clean up after themselves. Like that's like one of the most.
You make a mess and you'll get trespassed out. Yeah. We would actually go back. These people would steal the pallets,
right.
The empty pallets. We'd keep them in the back. We didn't care so much because the good pallets we would save, but the bad pallets and things like that where they want to come, as long as you don't trash my back end, I'm fine. You clean up after yourself. Hey, next week we'll have 10 more pallets out here. You trash the back end, and I will make sure you never come back again. Mm-hmm. But that's a local thing. That's where the individual store managers would get involved with that, and they would usually, hey, I got pallets coming in. I'm going to have 50 pallets out here. They're not going to be in the greatest shape, but pallets are sold to companies that make mulch out of them. That's what used pallets end up going to, is mulch. So they would take them down to the mulch guys and sell them to the pallets. They'd crush them and grind them up and make mulch out of them. They get $1 a pallet out of them. So, if somebody comes up, they want to take 20 pallets. Hey, I'm fine. Just don't go through and pick out a bunch of pallets and just leave my back area a mess where I got to spend payroll now to clean up the mess you left. Mm-hmm. Like going to the dumpster. I don't care if you're going to the dumpster. Your risk. No problem on us. Because all our dumpsters were had not responsible for anything that happens to anybody in there. But you make a mess and you're going to tick me off because I got to spend payroll hours now to fix the mess. I'm going to make sure you don't come back.
Right.
Now, has there been a video yet where like someone jumped in a dumpster and there was another reseller already in there?
That would be me.
I thought that's what Sloppy Beer People was doing with dumpster divers. I thought it was more of a jump in and they would duke it out over the dumpster and then get out. So
Serious. That would be entertaining.
I was teasing because Lily was in the car and she had the cell phone while she was live, and people were saying, "Come on, Lily, go out and help your mom." And she says, "No, Mom says I got to stay in the car." So I said to her, I said, "Well, if Uncle Pat comes out to Colorado to visit, I got to bring some rope. So if I get stuck in there, you can tie it to the bumper of the car and at least hoist and pull me out." Because that's the problem. Some of these dumpsters are sick. I'm 5'9", and the dumpster dive and I've done. I don't. If the dumpster's over 5 feet, I'm not getting in. It's just not happening.
You got to bring a step ladder.
yeah, you got to bring like a 6-foot step ladder that you could actually climb in and then somebody hand it to you and climb back out with it. I mean,
Yeah, well, maybe if I pull up the car right next to it, if you can sometimes, and hop it that way. But I did a dumpster diving video probably about 2 months ago at 5 locations, and 3 of them were a bust, and 2 of them I hit some home runs. I mean, I got 200 items that, and some of the stuff I'm just going to wind up donating. It's just a shame because a lot of the stuff that's been thrown away had expiration dates of next year. But what happens is some of these stores, when they're doing their resets for the shelf, it doesn't matter. They get told to throw that SKU away. They're throwing it away.
well, that's a mistake. They're actually supposed to be checking expiration dates and things like, because we used to throw away things all the time, expiration dates, and if it was the rule at Ollie's was if it expires that month, it has to be done. It has to be in the trash by the 1st. It's a simple rule. It doesn't matter if it expires on the 29th, it's going out on the 1st. So, yeah, but that's mainly food and things like that. You don't want to really dumpster dive food. So,
Yeah, no. If the dumpster smells, I can't do it. Like if something smells really
well, I mean, this is like
bad,
canned food and bag food and stuff like that. You don't want to mess with that. Even makeup and things like that has expiration dates, so you have to be careful with things like that. Anything that gets into or onto your body has an expiration date.
right?
So, you may not be able to know it because it may be a coded expiration date, so you have to kind of deal with that sometimes. But, yeah, definitely check your stuff in your stores.
Hey, Kimberly, how about now? We're getting 12:30 here, East Coast. How about you ready to show it?
I can type it in the
Let's see.
right. It took me a second because I had to find something out and then crop it.
We got 49 people in there. What we've been doing is basically every 15, 20 minutes, every one of us are featuring an item. You have to guess the price that she just recently sold for, either on eBay or Etsy, wherever she sold it online, and within $2 without going over. And then we will give a $10 PayPal cash. And why are we doing that? We're just celebrating that, to be honest, that we hit our watch time and got monetized this week. So I made 31 cents yesterday on YouTube and sharing the wealth. So, Kimmy, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Go ahead.
All right. So what it is, and I've talked about these, and I've sold a couple. It's a Hudson River wood inlay picture.
Now I will say start, so don't type anything in yet, guys.
Sorry, I'm trying to get here. Oh, I was worried about the glare going on. So here it is. This one in particular looks like a stamp. The other one I sold was similar. It was $1 one, but it had just a duck on it. I don't know how well that you could see that, but it did have, this one did have the certificate with it.
Now is that a framed?
Yeah, it's a frame, and it's all wood. It's wood from all over the world, which is really cool, I think. I have done well with wood items, like things.
That's from the Hudson River Company?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, and
not every one of them is created equal. Those stamp ones do better than just the regular.
And what was the size of it?
Was
it 8 by 10?
oh gosh, I can't remember. I just screenshotted it. I mean, it
frame.
it wasn't 8 by 10. No, it was bigger than that.
It looked like a 16 by 20, roughly.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit in trying to ship it. It was definitely on the heavier side of things, but didn't have glass. It's just all wood.
All right, so start.
All right, we'll start, and it's over $50. That's what I'll say. You could start guessing now if everyone pays attention.
Yeah, sure. And then after I'll tell you all about the other one that I sold too.
Sure.
I have there's a video of me shipping it or packaging it up.
I love Pat. It's over 50, but under 52.
Boom, you have a winner.
No, I didn't say that. It's over $50. That's what I'll say. Because
you have a winner, Pat.
We do? Wow.
Yep.
That was quick.
Nishana Lee nailed it.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I love money. So the last one I sold before that was it was a $1 one, a $1 stamp wood inlay picture, and it sold for $450 in less than 24 hours. Everyone that I come across sell within a week. Not I don't even think half of a week.
Wow.
So that's a huge bowler to look out for. I've never seen those.
Yeah,
so.
definitely.
The stamp ones are the ones that do well.
So the key though is the company. That's Hudson River Bay. That's the one to do the Hudson River Bay blankets and things like that as well. It's a Canadian company. So yeah, that's anything you see with Hudson River or Hudson Bay, that's always going to be good money. So don't, those are, I've never seen those before. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I've heard the blankets before.
I picked it that one up for 10. The other one I picked up for 20. Which is for me kind of a lot for me to honestly usually spend on something in a thrift store, but it's I've been kind of bargain hunting or shopping in Goodwill for a long time, and so when I see something that I haven't seen before, I will absolutely look it up, and search the solds because it's already kind of a unique item just because I haven't seen it.
Now, Nishana Lee, what you do is email me at patpa72@aol.com. If you didn't capture that, in my About section, my email's there, and you give me your name and your email, and I'll PayPal you $10. I'll probably do everything on, it's late. It'll be late tonight, but Monday. So I got money in there to send. So
that's an Arby's. It's an Arby's $10 gift card, right?
I don't get a $10 gift card.
A coupon. No, it's $10 real cash. This way, sometimes you'll send someone something like, $5, and they go, "Oh, I don't shop on Amazon." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So you know what? I kept it simple. If you have a PayPal, if you don't have a PayPal account, give me your. If you want to put your address, I'll send you $10 cash in an envelope. So no big deal. But Kimmy, do you want to expand? Now, Melissa's asking a bit on that. That's a great find.
Yeah. So they call it wood inlay, basically, for that particular one. And a lot of those pictures that they do, they take wood from all over the world and cut out little pieces to make it one big picture. And it's just all wood, that picture is. There is a lot out there. So like I said, do your research because not everyone is created equal. And the problem with getting into some of them is the size that they are and then the weight that they are, that if you could only resell it, for $20, you got to keep in mind that you might be spending $25, to ship the thing, plus materials. One of the things I love to use around framed art is actually pool noodles, and we are in prime time right now to grind those up. They work so well around.
Another tip
is pool noodles. You can find them like anywhere, and then here in just about a month, or I don't even think a month, all of the summer stuff, all that pool stuff will start
dollar stores have
going on sale, and you can pick them up for super, super cheap.
Yeah, they have them in the dollar stores too.
Yeah, they do, even for $1. They work really, really well as putting a corner barrier or just some space in between, so you're not having it. I try to do the like hand kind of rule or the 4-finger rule of it being away from the edge in case that corner is crushed. I was told a long time ago by the post office people that they know of people who will do the drop kick method on purpose, which is kind of messed up, but you know, you need to be mindful of that. I mean, it would really suck to have somebody want their money
You got to
back.
understand that a lot of that is conveyor belt stuff, and it'll drop 6 feet down to the next conveyor.
Right.
That's the way it's designed to do. So,
Right. So yeah,
unless you can afford to replace it, or you don't mind the insurance claim, and it should be able to ship to handle a 6 or 8 foot drop.
oh yes, that's another good point. Always, if you have an item that is over, 50, use that insurance to your advantage. You pay the extra that it costs for it because it's worth it.
Mhm.
It's also called marquetry. Is another term for that wood inlay. So you see a lot of that out there as well. So
Were those numbered or were they just one of a kind pieces?
I think there is a certain amount that they make of all of them. Like I said, I know that the other ones, they're not all created equal. Some of the other ones don't sell. They sell for like $20. And so if I pick those up, I'd rather do those local. Because it's not worth it to take all that time and then to ship it. Then I'm making only a couple dollars.
Yeah.
Hold on, so I don't mind flipping items and only making a couple dollars. But if it's going to take me an hour to package it up and ship it, making $3 is not worth it at all.
Pool noodles, tip number 3.
I want to say thank you to Valerie, Hickory Springs. $10 from Hickory Springs. So proud of you, Pat. Thanks for all you do. You're an awesome human. Thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate it. If anyone doesn't know Valerie, we had her on the show 2 weeks ago talking about side gigs. I met Valerie through YouTube, and she took my advice and started doing side gigs, food delivery and stuff, and she's doing tremendously well. The week that we had her on, she said she had her best week. She did $801 doing side gigs. So I thank you for the super chat. I had turned my camera off a second because it's funny because Kimmy was showing those pictures, and I was telling her the other day, it was so weird because I bought a picture from the Salvation Army. And I don't know if I featured it in one of my thrift videos. And the reason I bring it up, because sometimes people always assume that, you're making these videos, you don't sell that stuff. And I had bought this, and I just sold it. This was,
Puppies.
yeah, Puppies School Days, stamp there. I bought this for $10 at the Salvation Army. And it took me 3 months, but I sold it for $100 with shipping.
Awesome.
And I took a best offer of $89.50 plus shipping. So that was a good return, and it made me think of when I had bought them and they were sitting there for a while where I have them. Maybe I made a mistake, and I had to sit on it for 3 months. But $10 into $90 is a pretty good return.
Yeah. There's good money.
The key with art is keep it small, and you can usually do all right with it. I've got
Do your research for sure.
I've got some pieces that are worth several $1,000s, but they're really unshippable. I mean, I've got like one painting up in along my stairway. It's literally 48 by 60. And I paid $12 for it, but it's appraised at like $2,000. But yeah, I can't ship something like that. So, it's really cool. I like it. I bought it because I liked it. I didn't buy it to sell.
Yeah.
So it's on my wall. But I've had other paintings like that where you buy it and it's just too big to deal with. So you either sell it locally or you like it, you stick it on the wall. So
Is the person nude in that picture?
they are not. It's actually a, what do they call I can't remember what I've had too much liquor to recall the actual art. It's the type of, it's impressionist art where it's doesn't really look like anything, but I like it, so it's cool. I've got a couple other pieces that are like that. Abstract, that's what it is. Yes, it's an abstract art. It's a local abstract artist from the '60s, and there was an auction of all their stuff, and I ended up buying 7 or 8 pieces. I sold several pieces of it, but I kept this one because it's so huge. But it fits my wall perfectly, and I love it. So don't buy art unless you like it.
That's a good tip, actually.
Yeah, I would say that's the best tip, because if you like it and it sits on your wall for 10 years, then you had great art for 10 years. If you don't like it, it's going to sit in the corner and you're never going to do anything with it. Oh, I'll get a picture up eventually. I'll it's really a cool picture. It's the title of the picture is called Trumpets, and I can't remember the artist name right off the top of my head, but it's just a really cool picture.
I don't know. You know, Kimmy, you've hosted with StreamYard. One thing I'm noticing, you know, in the background, how we can see the chat. My chat isn't scrolling no more. So I was wondering why there's about 5 minutes worth of chat that I haven't seen. Because I'm looking
at the chat from YouTube. I pop it out.
I did too.
Not seeing people blue, it's like weird to me. So
well, what was happening before is I couldn't respond to people by doing the @ sign, but behind the scenes on StreamYard there's a chat, and the last chat I've seen is Myra Freeman at 12:37. It says the boss is gone, and I'm going on the screen now on YouTube, and there's at least 30 messages that I haven't seen. So I don't know if Craig is in the room, if he's experienced that too. This is the first time. I mean, I've only used StreamYard now probably about 5 or 6 times, but I
would be willing to bet the chat is actually matched up to what you're talking about right then. That they're seeing, so you're seeing the chat at the same time that they're seeing the video. That's what you're looking at. That's why you pop it out on YouTube, so you actually see the live.
Yeah.
What's going on?
This is what usually is happening. As the host behind the scenes, I see the chat, and then on YouTube, that chat is delayed by about 30 or 40 seconds. My chat behind the scenes is frozen at 12:30. So basically the last 7 minutes. So everything that's being said in the last 7 minutes, I have to go on YouTube to see. Otherwise, I'm not seeing it. So and I try.
So you're saying the winners are not actually winners?
No, I'm not saying that.
So what chat should we be using? The pop-up chat or?
No. The private chat we could see, but what happens is behind the scenes as the host, there's the comment section that we're supposed to, and it's not loading no more. It's not scrolling. So that's why I apologize if I'm missing any people's comments, because I'm just not seeing it. Oh, Myra says your video went blank.
Wow.
Really?
Is it your video? Is it Pat's video, or is it everybody's video?
No, hold on. No, I had turned mine off to go get the picture and turned it back on. Let me reload that. So in a couple of minutes, we're going to get Jason to show his item. So give me a chance. I'll be right.
Okay.
Can't wait to see my item, right, guys?
I have no idea if this is going to, because the last time he did this, he killed the whole show. So
did he say to show his item or wait for him?
He said to wait for him. I just looked up the other Hudson River wood inlay. It was a hunting stamp picture. It had the dollar on it, and it sold for $452.
So that's definitely some Bolos.
Wow, Stephen Strait did a super chat for $20. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, Pat doesn't have to break open his son's piggy bank for the show. It's awesome, Stephen. Thank you.
You know what? I just came. Yeah, thank you, Stephen. I'm reloading all my pages. So thank you. I just tried to come back in the room, and it allowed me for the camera and the mic. But the side chat, it says an error occurred. Try refreshing the page. So.
Refresh the page. Yeah, he doesn't worry about the side chat. Just pop it out on YouTube like the rest of us. That's what I think.
Yeah. So Anita, that giant thing around your neck, was that from Flavor Flav, or what is it?
No, it's a vintage mother of pearl lion.
Looks like a vintage, nice. Cheap knockoff.
It's a lion.
Broadway show.
Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
Steve, thank you. My girl Sadie, my dog said this is for the next giveaway. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's weird. I've never seen this done before. That there's an error or something. So again, now this is what we're talking about between using. I've never seen this happen. Well, it's not something you have the ability to do on Google. So, But no big deal. I'll just follow the chat in YouTube, and we'll take it from there. So thank you, Stephen. I appreciate it. Jason, are you ready to show your item?
I am ready. Let me hold on.
Again, you have to guess without going over, or within $2 under. That's fine. And whoever does, we will PayPal you $10. So let me focus on Jason.
Oh, I gotta hit screen share, right, or something?
Yeah, sure.
Hold on. Screen share. Share screen. All right. Okay. So we got that?
Yep. Now describe what it is, and don't guess until I say start. Now this is where I'm really going to need Eric and everybody to pay attention, because like I said, behind the scenes, I can't see the guessing. So.
I can't see it either, but I put it in the side chat for.
Yeah, that's okay. I got it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
This is the modern gobbler, and it basically gobbles sheet metal. And there it is to scale, to give you an idea.
With a tab.
That's right, baby.
Now, when you say what does it do?
It gobbles sheet metal. It cuts sheet metal like very quickly.
Yeah, it's a sheet metal nibbler, basically.
Yeah, it's a nibbler.
Okay.
There we go. Modern gobbler.
Oh wow, made in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. So that's actually was made locally.
Yep, I think they're still in business actually, if I remember right.
Does it cut like saw, or it just bends it, or
it just cuts, like? Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, it cuts. Basically, there's a little anvil in there, and it just cuts a line in it. And you kind of roll along. Sheet metal, it's real. Sheet metal's thin, obviously. It's sheet metal, so I mean, it's actually pretty easy to cut with it. It makes it really nice for when you're working with metal and you're trying to get a nice edge on stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
See, that's what's neat about us. We're all showing something that is different and kind of. I mean, Jason does specialize, it seems, in certain things, but none of us has something that's similar. So let's start the guessing now. So I'll say start. And do we want to give any kind of? It's over $100.
Boom, man, she is on fire.
That was the fastest yet. Holy crap!
Wow. And
Nashana Lee nails it exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So Nashana Lee, she won again. So she'll get her
sales. Yeah.
Right. Now I can't feature. That's one of the things. Without me seeing the comments in the background, I can't feature her comments. So I'm not ignoring anybody. But so I have your information. You'll get $20. So thank you.
She didn't do an eBay search because this is too old for an eBay search. So
it might still be there. Actually, it's not that old.
You said March, didn't you?
No, that was something else.
Oh, okay. Well, she's a good eBay searcher. Then great, nothing wrong with that.
It was sold. Oh no, I'm sorry. April 30th. My bad. I went back a little too far.
No, that's great. Like I said,
that's Terapeak searchable, but not eBay searchable. So.
And it was 20. It was 20 something to ship.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, do you want to? You don't have to say if you don't want to. What your purchase price you thought it was, just to show basically how much you can make on something like this, and for people to be on the lookout.
Shoot, I don't remember. Do you, Eric?
Which auction did you pick that up?
That was that auction with the hat conformator thing.
Oh, you didn't pay no more than $20 for it. I can guarantee that.
No, I might have paid more.
No, was that the one you paid? Wait, because that's the one you bought the K11 in, right?
Yeah, it might have been like $60.
I think it was $60 for that thing because the K11 was like $20 or something like that. So
yeah, I'll go with 60. Honestly.
Yeah, 60. I think it was where I was going to go with it. So that was an online auction.
That was good. Did you see Nashana Lee? I guess she's been selling. Now, I'm sorry, but it sounds like a woman's name, so I apologize if it's not. sometimes I'll get caught up in that and like, no, it's not. But trying to read some of these names. But it says sold on eBay for 18 years. You learn to research. That's what's been. It's why when Jason hanging out with Jason, I get some free education. So I've been to garage sales and stuff, and sometimes you see things, and they want $1 or $2 for something, and you're not even because you don't know about it. But now there's certain things I'll never buy, just because Jason. I mean, there were some things I saw the other day that I would still never know. But it's just great hanging out and learning from these guys, and we're going to be doing it again.
I will tell you the one thing that I will never ever buy: Longa burger baskets. Don't do it.
You ever see the headquarters of that?
It's not even their headquarters anymore. They lost it at a tax sale.
Oh, really? And it looks like a big basket.
Yep, it is. I've driven past it. I know exactly where it's at. But the company went bankrupt. They lost the little thing that was sold at a tax sale for like $600,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
How the heck does a company sell millions and millions of dollars of baskets and they can't even hold up their building?
It's called The Original People Die, and then some of the kids come along and they don't run it as well as their parents, and that's basically where it's at. But
they had all their eggs in one basket.
So it must. That's a good one, Jason. You're on point tonight.
He is. He is.
Kimmy, I saw you type something in the chat, honey. Don't be afraid to if you want to throw out those bolos. What you're talking about?
Yeah, well, it got me when I was thinking about art. It's one of my favorite things to sell. Anything kind of home decor, and it made me think about some of the art glass that I've picked up and turned around and flipped. Another thing that sells real quick for me is art glass. The base is by a gentleman named Paul Harry. You guys should look them up. They go for a couple $100. Most of them do, which is pretty good money. And I have found them in Goodwill for $5.
I will tell you an art glass name to look out for is Daume, Daume. Daume in France is what you usually see. I bought a $5 bowl at an auction with Jason, and I sold it for $1,200.
Wow!
That was a vendor, and I walked by it, and you bought it.
Yeah. And I bought it because I literally opened the box. I looked down, and there was a little newspaper article that said Daume France on it. I closed the box up and asked for a price. They gave it to me for $5. Didn't even look at it any further than that. I was surprised at how much it was actually worth because it was actually signed by Daume, the company, and also the artist who did it. What you really want to be on the lookout for that most people just pass up and think it's a trinket is Daume was known for making little glass cars. You'll see like Ferraris and Corvettes and things like that, but they're just little 4-inch, 5-inch glass cars. That's a guaranteed $300 to $400 sale on eBay. And you see them all the time at estate sales, and somebody will put a $3 or $4 sticker on them. So if you see anything with the name Daume on it, you want to buy it if it's cheap enough.
Yes.
I've paid up to $100 for Daume pieces and turn around, I'll sell it for $300 or $400. But yeah, you can hit home runs with this stuff. And that glaze, the thing I sold for $1,200 was nothing that special. Didn't look that great. It was a bowl that had cast iron that was molded. The glass was blown into the bowl, so it was really you couldn't take the cast iron piece off. Daume. It's Daume.
I was going to put another bolo in there. I don't want to butcher this name, so I'm just going to type it in there. But for those of you watching tonight, you guys are getting lots of good tips, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, someone had asked me what the subject matter was going to be. And if you notice, half our shows, once we get into the discussion, we're able to carry a show for an hour just based on something that but it is casual and laid back. But yeah, I think we provide a lot of good information. So thanks for everybody everybody here in the description. Their channel is there. So if you haven't subscribed to their channel, please do.
Yeah, if you go to one of my first videos, I have a what I sold video. Yeah, I feature the Daume vase. So, and actually went back to France, but it went France via New York, so I had to ship it to New York, and then they shipped it to France through a freight forwarder. So
here's the here's what.
Sergio Bustamante.
Yeah, they go for some good money. Sold one a couple years ago for 1,000, like 500, I think is what it went for.
Oh my
It
goodness.
looks like that.
Nice.
It's metal. It's like copper looking. You would never think that thing would go for that much, but some metal art I tend to pick up too.
Well, I mean, the key with any type of art is the signature.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
if you can find the signature, then you can do some research on it. You can buy it and figure out what it's worth. That's if you're in a Goodwill or a thrift store or something like that, or a garage sale, and you see a piece and you turn it over and it's signed, it's almost always going to be worth something.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's worth a lot is a different story. I mean, who knows what it's worth? But if the price is under $5 or under $10, go for it. Who cares? You got to be able to risk $5 or $10 on maybe hitting a home run. I spent $5. I paid $1,000, $1,200. I think it was $1,200 I sold for. But it's not that big. Worst case scenario, you're going to have to make $30, $40, $50 on it.
Right. There's good money in art. And what I like about it is that, like for me, sharing all those, the odds of everybody in the chat finding one in their lifetime is slim to none. But you can find them. It's just, it's not like an item that you're going to see every day necessarily. But I mean, keep an eye out for similar items like that. Because art does sell. Sculptures, home decor is what I basically like.
I want to show you a sculpture that actually Nishana sent me. Hang on.
To go get it now. So, yeah, just search Dom and then search Dom Crystal or Dom Car on eBay and look at the solds, and you'll see what we're talking about. I mean, that's just crazy money. And like I said, I've run across them. Now you have to be careful. It has to be say Dom, because there's other companies that make them that nobody wants.
Mm-hmm. I always research everything. That's just like the metal art thing that I just showed. There was an era, I think it's like late 70s, early 80s, where that was a thing. And so I've come across so many, it looks like maybe it was done in wood shop class or something. So
metal wall art was big in the late 60s.
Yeah, so it's not all, again, created equal. Look it up for sure. All right, Anita's showing us her.
It's actually, we couldn't figure out how much it costs now, but it's from the early 80s. It has a signature. It says Alex Beal on it, and it's a lamp, and it's made out of lucite. They were sold for $85. Went at a museum. We don't know how much they are now. We couldn't figure it out. But
what's the name on it?
Alex Beal, Beall. Let me see if I can get my flashlight. This is how it looks lit up. There's little birds and there's spider webs in there. There's a little bird underneath with a nest with little. It's very interesting. I've never seen anything like this. She sent it to me for my birthday.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Was that a viewer? Anita, was that a viewer?
Nishana sent it to me.
Oh, okay. Oh, very nice.
Mm-hmm. So we looked it up. We couldn't find what the selling price for it is now. But this is just something for me to keep. It was just interesting to research it and see what they go for, and we couldn't find anything except that they were sold in a New York museum for $85 in the early 80s. There were a few more, but the ones that sold for $85 were really small, like half the size of these. Mm-hmm. So this is the bigger piece.
Okay, I'm gonna feature my item because we're getting it to the 1 o'clock hour here. So again, it's guessing without going over by $2. And this will be the last. So we're giving away $40 so far. This will be the last $10 PayPal prize item. Let me pull it up. Yeah. Okay, it's going to be women's Zara black flat ankle boots, size 7.5 2 size zippers. Hold on, let me show you a picture real quick. Okay. I sold these on eBay. Everybody can see that picture?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
All right. Black Zarb, I picked them up at the Salvation Army. I guess a store had closed down, and I took I bought a bunch of different boots over time, but I had a success with that. So start. And in the private chat, you guys know the price. I have it there, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And another thing to look out for if you're into buying flatware and things like that is what's called Christophily. I don't know if you've ever seen that before, but that is actually insanely priced stuff. It's I'll put it in the after the thing is over. I'll put the name over there. I've actually bought a couple pieces of that, but you're talking about one spoon can sell for crazy money. So some of the stuff will sell for.
I think we have a winner, right?
Yeah, I see.
Oh yeah, you do. Land Shark Picker wins it. So
yeah. It was $40, so he guessed within a penny. Probably because he bought the boots. I mean, I know they're women's boots, but hey, now you're going to get $10. But Craig is the winner. They were. I paid $10 for those. I took a best offer, and it was a good return, 4 times my money. I did buy another pair of boots about 2 months prior to that with all these beads on them. They were really unique looking. I had seen a pair similar, but not the same size, sell for $100, $120, and I had someone make me an offer, but they didn't follow through. And then I had some people trying to offer me $80. So I had them listed, I think, for $125, and I said I'm going to take $100 plus like $15 shipping, and I sold them. So they went to somebody in Texas, and so I got 10 times my money. So sometimes our Salvation Army in our area, somebody will close up. I've seen them get stuff from Sam's Clubs. Sometimes even Pepsi will. It's funny because if you go in there and shop, sometimes you can walk out with a free case of. I don't drink Diet Pepsi, so I didn't take that. But they'll give a free case of. 1 week there was rolls from Sam's Club that if you're a customer that day, they're handing those things out for free. So
one of my Goodwills in town gets all the donations from Victoria's Secret. And it's from the company. What they did, they cut the tags though, so they're cut tag Victoria's Secret, which doesn't bring quite as much money. But it's $1 a piece. You could literally go in there and buy Victoria's Secret balls for $1 a piece.
There's good money in brassieres.
There is. I just don't want to mess with it. It's just not my thing.
Yeah. I mean,
there's a lot of knowledge that I just don't have. So you can walk in and it's a big dump bin. You can walk in and just pick them up by the armload and dump them on the counter and buy them for $1 a piece. So bras, swimsuits, anything that Victoria's Secret carries, it goes to this one Goodwill here. So I mean, it's good money, but
our Goodwill in the area, I don't know what's going on, but they've been. What's happening is they're starting to sell a lot of new stuff. So it must be a revenue generator that they're worried about not having, because both of them have a pile of Puma brand new sneakers. And they're starting to, like, I'll be honest, I think 20% of their stuff in the store is new stuff that they're just buying wholesale somewhere, or they're getting it cheap because they're just looking to generate.
Goodwills sell Amazon returns now. So
yeah. So, but those were the 5 prizes for tonight. I do appreciate everybody, that participated in that. We're getting close to wrapping this up. So. And it gets to be a long night, so I appreciate it.
Wait, hold on. I do have something to show.
Wait a minute.
Of a pickup the other day, if you want to learn.
All right, hold on.
Eric, if you could describe this while I hold it up.
We're a little bit there. Yeah, that's actually photos from the guy. What was his H.A. Snow? Was it?
No. Yep.
Yeah, H.A. Snow was a very famous hunter. Obviously, or in the 1915 to 1920s, and as near as we can tell, these photos are all from safaris that he took. And there's actually a museum in Oakland, California, and we think these photos are somehow related to that because we found other photos in some books about the guy, but not these specific photos. So we don't know where they came from. But the guy was hugely famous in Oakland, and Winchester sponsored him for all kinds of stuff. So just really, really cool stuff. And we think they either are prints off the originals. They may be just prints that they found and made. We're not real sure where they came from. But
Jason, how many do you have, buddy?
And I got like 30 of them, but I'll just show them those for
No,
now.
no, you can show.
No, I don't want to show all 30.
That's the Rising submachine gun manufacturing. That's the manual for running. It's a submachine gun they used in World War II. Harrington and Richards is a company that's been around they're still around. Look at that. That's using that thing at the police department used them. So
It's pretty neat stuff.
Now, where did you pick these up at?
An online auction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of similar books like that on rifles and gun catalogs and stuff. Pretty cool stuff.
They're having a state auction right down the road from me, but I looked at the items, and it just, to be honest, it just didn't seem like it was worth it.
Well, here's the problem with what you see is that they try to sell you and what's actually there. So when you look at the pictures online of what they're trying to sell you, most of the time they feature the furniture, they feature the big items, or they feature the things that everybody knows is valuable.
Right.
What you have to do with that is you have to look at the stuff that's there. What did these people have? Did they have money? Did they have unique, cool furniture? And then know, okay, if they were really cool and unique in the basics, what aren't you seeing? So a lot of times when I'm doing an online auction especially when I'm going to an estate sale or when I'm going to a live auction, I'm not looking at the pictures. I'm looking at trying to get a sense of who they are and what they were to know what they're not showing me. Because that's where the money's at usually, is what they're not showing you. So you have to kind of get a feel for the consignor of what are they all about. And it's like I went to an estate auction last Friday I think it was, and the guy was a collector of everything, and I ended up buying a bunch of manuals and books and magazines, and I paid $5 a piece, and they're all mint condition Corvette manuals, things like that. So the guy was a car collector. They didn't even know he had all this stuff. The guy was a barbershop collector. He had a barbershop set up in his barn, an old-timey 1920s barbershop with the barber chairs and the poles and everything. Nobody realized that type of stuff. But you go to, when you look at online and look at the pictures, they don't talk about the cool manuals. They talked about, he had a bunch of car magazines, or they had a bunch of, a few manuals. They didn't tell he specialized in Corvette stuff. So you kind of got to build a sense of what the person's about. When we did that video game auction, we had a lot of pictures, but they didn't show everything. The guy was a video game collector. So we actually found a guy on the internet talking about him selling his own collection. And so we knew he had really good stuff because he talked about it. But, if you don't do the research, and sometimes you never get a chance to figure that type of stuff out. So don't always look at the pictures, get a sense of what they have, and then you've got a better idea what you're going to be possibly walking into. If I walk in and I see like a guy that's got a ton of safari photos and gun books and things like that, odds are he's got some really good disposable income. So there's probably good stuff there.
Right. I noticed that you really like a lot of the paper type of items, which I think is really cool and probably awesome.
Paper is cheap. Paper is cheap, and paper sells for a lot of money if you get the right stuff.
Well, and then to ship it is probably nothing, right?
Boxes full of flat mailers right there. That's all I ever ship in. So
I like the picture thing. I haven't ever tried to go buy them and resell them. I've only gotten things and kept them, but I think that that's really cool. It makes me think of, I picked up it was maybe 20 years ago. I picked up these when I went to Panama. I went to Panama a long time ago, and I picked up these old pictures of the Panama Canal, and it makes me want to look those up because that was
I've got
years ago when I picked them up. But it's pictures of what the Panama Canal looked.
I've got slides from 1939 Mardi Gras.
That is so cool. I think old pictures are so cool.
I have no idea what they're worth. I haven't listed them. I just kind of hang on to them because I'll get around to it eventually. One of these when the mood hits me, I guess, type of things. But you know, it's stuff you can find at a relatively inexpensive. I think, what'd you pay for those pictures, Jason? 30?
45.
45. And to me, for me, that value of those pictures, I'd probably list those pictures for $29.99. My sale will probably kick them down to about $19.99, and I'd accept anything over $12 or $13 a piece on them. So you got 30 pictures, $12, $13 a piece. You turn $45 into $450.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I look at things like that. It's going to sit forever. I mean, I just picked up. What did I do with them?
And the same person would probably be the one who buy all of them.
Here's a good example. Online auction. There's 75 movie posters in this tube right here.
Wow.
$28 total investment.
$30?
Yeah, $30.
Yeah.
And that's an online auction. I didn't have to leave the house. I was bidding from the house, and then they mail them to me. And if I get $10 a piece, I turn $30 into $700.
Yeah,
Right.
well, that's amazing. And what I like about, I mean, I sell some paper like goods, more like a few postcards, more stamps I've sold. But what I like about it is the simplicity that comes behind photographing it. It's like nothing, you know.
Well, movie posters are different. I have the whiteboard back here. You can see I've got a poster up on the whiteboard. It's held up with these magnetic. I don't use pins, obviously. I use little magnetic paper. You know,
That's a good idea.
So I have those. Now, I also have some really strong magnets for some of the stuff that doesn't roll out very well. But that's all you really need. And then you can take 7 or 8 photos, show every aspect of it, show any type of damage on it. And there's no question. I've never had anybody try to return one of these saying it wasn't what I expected, because I show all the issues with it. I love folded posters like these because they go into my little flat mailers. If they're rolled like these ones down here, I got to ship them in a tube.
Yeah, that's what I do with posters. I've sold a couple.
But I ship all my rolled stuff now. I ship a priority mail and use the mailers because I've had so much trouble with the post office damaging my tubes. And I have good tubes. I mean, we did the tube discussion on another video with me and Jason. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to ship them priority. They're going to pay the priority rates, which they don't have a problem. And I get it there, and I got insurance already covered on them. But that's just kind of the way it is. I mean, I love doing this type of stuff because
you can tell you get excited about it. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, I'm getting ready to list these tonight. I already took the photos, so they're already set up in the inventory. And you'll never find stuff like this unless you kind of look for it. These are little magazines, and they are talking about movies. What's interesting about these, and there's probably 40 of them here, right? There's this little, and the company that put these out is Progress, Film of the Illustria or whatever, is German, but it's East German. And these are East German movies from the 1950s.
Wow.
And there's a couple of them on eBay, but when I did some research on them, I really could only find 3 or 4 sold for like $10 a piece. And there's 40 of them, and I think I paid $20 for all 40 of them. You know, and then I buy stuff like this is a 1936 road map. You know, and I get stuff like this in big lots, and you pay $1 or $2 for the big lot, and you pull out 10 things, and you sell for $10 a piece. And they take up no space.
Yeah. That's what I like. That's my issue always is space. You know, I come across all kinds of stuff that I could sell, but I have to turn down so many things because I just don't have the space for it. So that's why I tend to stick with things that are smaller. Or I can hang on the wall or display like as my own home decor, and then when it sells, package it up.
Or use.
Yeah.
Somebody was asking about what the movie. They're all different movie posters. This one is different. They're all foreign. These are foreign posters. I have a lot of American posters, but I bought a bunch of foreign posters. So don't be shocked, but
That's cool.
So what's good about this is it's a foreign poster. It's obviously kind of that Japanese or German fetish stuff, which you see a lot of.
Right.
And this poster I'll probably get $40 to $50 for. And I think I paid, it was in a lot. I think I paid like $12 for the lot, and it had a bunch of other posters in it. So movie posters are great. I mean, Jason knows I love movie posters. And
Yeah.
I just happened to find a place to pick up movie posters. I could buy them all day long. And I don't pay that much for them.
The other day, the auction professor was talking about how expensive posters can be, and he showed me.
I've sold movie posters for upwards of $250 a piece.
Yeah, over 100. Yeah.
Most of my movie posters sell. The ones I have now that I have on my on the web or on eBay right now are in the $10 to $20 range, because I sold through all the really good ones. When I was with Jason, we were at his Cabin Fever show, and we happened to stumble across this vendor, and they had these movie posters sitting in a tote. And go back and forth, I ended up buying over 300 posters for $250. And I sat on them for like 2 months. I finally started listing them, and within 2 weeks of listing them, I'd made over $2,500.
That's amazing. I've sold a
I
couple.
still don't have them all up. I still got about another 100 to list, because I had duplicates of a lot of things, and then I waited a little time to list those, and then other things just take precedence. They're sitting in a box, right? I'm looking at them right now. I got to get them up.
Bolo guys, movie posters, old movie.
Vintage movie posters
Vintage.
got to be first release. That's the key with movie posters. It's got to be first release. And I will give you a little tip. Most movie posters from 1990 on back are 27 inches by 41 inches. If it's 27 by 40, it's a reproduction.
Oh.
So 27 by 41 was the standard movie poster size back then. Now, there are other sizes out there, of course, but the standard, what you would see in the marquee and everything, is 27 by 41. But yeah, it's a great business to be in. It doesn't cost me much money, and it's a little bit of a hassle to take the photos, because you got to pin them, put them up and then take them down. It hurts my back after a while, so I usually do 20 or 30 at a time.
We're gonna wrap things up here in a couple minutes. I just want to, we're talking about postcards. Real quick, I want to say thank you to John, football manager from the UK. He sent me a gift, actually, and he hears me talk about postcards. So he sent me a pile of European postcards, with a note that he's been dealing with some family issues, and these are beach locations around the UK. And he used to live in Broadstairs, which is one of them, and showing support to the channel. And take care, John, football manager. So thank you. I've received several gifts like this over the past couple months doing YouTube. So now this will be something I don't sell. I'll keep it myself. So thank you. I want to go to Eric and let him, if he got something he wants to plug this week, what he's doing.
You have a super chat. You have a super chat.
Super chat.
Super chat.
I can't. I do?
Yeah, you got super chat. Super chat.
Oh, hey, Alex. Thank you. I appreciate. Hit that thummy thumb, amigos. I'm glad he didn't. But thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. Alex does a channel right before our show between 9 and 11. They were on DG Pickers. That's one of the things I actually want to mention. Now, what's going to happen going forward, I'm going to still I do these little commercials to help promote my channel and promote whatever channel they're doing that week. I'll probably switch them and do them on Instagram, because what I learned with YouTube, what happens is if you have a video that has 200 or 300 views, when you're doing those videos that are only a couple minutes, and even though you're trying to promote your channel, they actually hurt your channel, because if only 50 or 60 people are watching that before the show, it averages down your views, so it doesn't get recommended. So I'm going to do that. But if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's Patdees72, just like the channel. And but I'm going to be coming out now with more. I'm still going to, obviously do the live. And starting Wednesday, we are actually going to do a show every Wednesday at 10 o'clock, Ecom with Jess Hill, where this young lady, she's a six-figure seller, and we're going to talk about making money doing things on Amazon. And she's done a lot of things. If you look back in one of my videos, when we did the Sunday or the Thursday night live show, she was a guest that I had on there, and she has a lot of knowledge that she could put out. Has sold over $1.5 million worth of stuff the last 3 years. So that is going to be except next week she's on vacation, but every Wednesday we're going to talk about she's done couponing in the past where she's paid off $30,000 worth of debt. So that is one of the things. And then obviously, as you know, we rotate between myself, Kimberly, Borderline Hoarderish, Shamrock, Pixie, Destiny, and we wrote next week. Destiny is hosting, and it's going to be a Q&A. It's the first
Q&A should be interesting. Yeah. You said 10 a.m. Now, which time zone is that?
East Coast time.
There you go.
East Coast time, time zone that really matters.
Well, people get all confused in the chat, so I want to make sure people know what time your show. Jess Hill is full of information, and she's putting out great smaller videos on YouTube and even just in Facebook. She puts out a lot of great tips. If you are an Amazon seller, even just like to do retail arbitrage, absolutely go and sub to her. I learned something just the other day about, what was it? I was watching her. I was binge watching, and her videos aren't even 5 minutes long, but she gives out great information in a very small amount of time. So I'm excited for you to do that show with her because she's awesome.
Lately been more like Eric and Jason, where she's built something up and concentrating on making money and doing the business. And YouTube was on the back burner, even though she has a group. She has thousands of followers that follow her on Facebook, but she wasn't doing YouTube because she was building up something. Me and her met through Instagram, and we started talking, and me wanting to have content that could help the viewers and help people. And I'm, again, learning from it. I do sell on Amazon, but some of the stuff, probably 10 or 15% of the purchases that I made on Amazon were probably poor choices, not understanding rank and stuff like that. And by having her come on, a lot of that guessing or mistakes really can be avoided by having someone that has a lot of knowledge that does it. So that's one of the reasons we're doing. It's only going to be a weekly Wednesday. It's a morning business show, and we're excited to bring that to you. But that'll start on July 31st. And as you guys know, I do the late show here Saturday, and I really do appreciate everyone's support. I appreciate all the super chats tonight. I shared a screenshot on my Instagram that for me, the Saturday shows have been the most successful watched view time for my channel. So people are watching, and I do appreciate it. And, a lot of times I'll end the night, let's say 200 views, and over the course of a week, we're getting another 100, 150. So people are, even if they're missing it tonight or they're only watching the beginning, they're coming back and watching it. So that is really appreciative. So. But I want to let everyone, before we go here, plug their channel or something they're doing this week. And again, we'll start out with Eric.
Like I said, just not really. I'm trying to get some videos done, but not really doing a whole lot. I'm working on a couple online auctions myself. So one I'm deeply invested in. We'll see how that ends up. But I wanted to address, Nishana Lee said she's got some World War II pictures at an estate sale, and they feature Nazis marching and saluting Hitler and stuff. You could sell that stuff on eBay if it doesn't have the swastika. Okay, so that's one of the biggest keys. However, your best money is going to be at a live auction for things like that. You want to find a guy that's doing military auctions or things like that, and they will pay a premium for that at a live auction. You'll pay a little bit more as a seller's premium. You'll probably pay 10 or 20, maybe even 30% on something like that, but it sells better at a live auction that will sell online. So and again, if you don't want it on your eBay account, a lot of people don't like that type of stuff. Me personally, history is history. Good history, bad history, doesn't matter as long as people don't forget. So I don't have a problem selling stuff like that, but it's the swastika is what eBay prohibits. But I would move that to a live auction personally.
Kimmy, you want to go next? Our announcer tonight was Jason. He got 10% of the super chats. So I'm going to let him kind of close out the show tonight. So, Kimmy, you're going to what's on with you this week?
What do I got going on? Well, I'm going to do the Monday motivation 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 move your as Mondays. And then, of course, I will be around on Thursday on Destiny's channel, the Shamrock Pixie, for our Thursday
Kimmy, can we get a Tuesday motivation? I'm busy shipping on Monday. I'm motivated on Monday.
You can watch it.
Tuesday, I
Watch
suck
it
at.
on Tuesday.
Tuesday
motivation.
Tuesday usually is senior day. And
On Tuesdays, I do. Those are my days that I do like to go sourcing. And then for our Thursday show, when it comes around to me hosting again, I did ask Jordan DJ Picker to be my next guest, my special guest. So maybe we'll get some good tips about penny sales. And I can't think of it. What else is going on? There's no episode of The Crazies come out this coming week. That'll be in 2 weeks. Friday. That's all I could think of.
And Anita?
I have 2 jewelry jars that I purchased yesterday that I'm going to be opening up. I have 2 Etsy videos I'm going to put up. Saturdays, I'm here if Pat invites me. And you can find me on Tuesdays and Thursdays on the Jason Static Show at 10 Central Time.
What I've been doing lately is the ladies have been coming every other week, and that's to not conflict with the babysitting and outside activities and stuff like that. What I've been trying to do is keep it, with StreamYard, you can keep it at 6 because, even tonight the show went fast. I want everyone to have the opportunity to share a story, and it's not just hanging out. It's about really putting stuff out there that people enjoy in the conversation. So that's why I do it that way. Eric and Jason have supported me from day one, and I've become friends with them and have met them in person, and I enjoy their company. And I'm really appreciative that they take the time out to, this is a lot of time to take out to do this. So I'm appreciative. Jason, you're going to close out what you're going to do this week. And don't say nothing because you are a busy man too.
We better wrap this up. Well, I mean, later on in the week, I'm going to be on Anita's channel. I'm going to be a finger model. You'll just,
That's true.
Yeah.
It's on. Yes.
But I don't really have much going on other than just working at the warehouse this week. And I still haven't been able to get a video together because I've just been so slammed.
We tried to do a video, but I lost internet for a whole day. I mean, it went out at noon, and I didn't get it back till 7 o'clock the next morning. And then he had power issues the other day. So,
oh boy.
Yeah, no, when we were driving home, his wife had called, and I answered the phone, and she's like, "Jason," and I'm like, "No." So I was right, and she said, was the power on when you finally went home, Jason?
Didn't go on till the next night.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you guys basically went 24 hours without power.
We had to throw out all our food and everything.
Yeah.
And then the power went out again a day later for 8 hours. So,
well, hey, I really want to thank everyone for coming in. There's still 31 people watching here. We're hitting 2.5 hours. I do appreciate everyone's support. Thanks again. I appreciate everyone, coming on the channel. And again, I appreciate the super chats and stuff and everybody that won tonight. I'll be dispensing those prizes like Monday, Tuesday. And thanks again. And if you guys if you want to comment down below if we didn't mention something and hit the thumbs up, it'd be greatly appreciated. But have a good night and thanks.
Wait, when do I get my 10%?
Soon.
Bye.
Bye.